Welcome everyone back to another episode of the podcast. I'm your host, Sodacast, and today we are here on episode 15 with the man, the legend, the Twitch streamer, the mustachioed man, Saverino. Sav, say hello.
Hi, I'm here. Episode 15. I like it. That's a solid number. I like that. One of my favorites.
How you doing today, man? How you doing today?
I am doing good. I work later today, so I'm anticipating that, but really I'm doing good. I was working on some content earlier today, planning out some videos, but it's nice. Oh my god, I see your cat. Oh, the day's so much better now. Oh, that's improved my day.
You're welcome. I know that you also have a cat as well.
I do. His name is Jedi. He is a little Siamese cat. Is your cat a Siamese?
My cat is I guess Siamese. Let me go grab her really quick.
Oh, that's so hype. Oh my goodness.
So this is kind of a main staple of the channel. You can't have Soda Cat without having Frost. She looks absolutely depressed right now.
Oh, poor girl.
Yeah.
Look at her. Baby. She is adorable. Oh, that was rude.
She's as content as can be. But, Sav, obviously, you know how these podcasts go. I always have to have a drink for every episode. Of course,
a beverage.
So, I have started a game recently within the last few episodes, and I'm curious to see if you're open to try it. It is a challenge.
A challenge, okay.
I have a soda here, and for $13, if you guess the right soda, you get $13. Do you want to play the game?
I would be willing to. That sounds interesting. Although I don't know what kind of soda you're into, so I need to guess. I'll have to, you know what? I'll throw a guess out there.
Remember, it has to be the exact brand as well as the exact flavor. So if I, for example, let's say get like a cherry Coke and you just say Coke, you don't get it.
That makes sense. I get you. Yeah. So you said Coke, and I'm wondering if you're trying to throw me off right now. I wonder if you went with something more niche. See, the thing my brain immediately said is a soda I really enjoy a lot, which is Dr. Pepper. I don't know if that counts, but you know what? I'll lock that in just because it's my favorite. So that'll be what I say.
You're going to say Dr. Pepper?
Yeah, sure.
Do you have a specific variation or just normal?
I'm going to say normal because that's the most common one. Ups my chances.
Fair enough. So, my soda of choice for today.
Holy shit.
RC Cola.
That is insane. That's a whole that's crazy.
Have you ever even had RC Cola before?
I don't think I ever have. What does it taste like? Is it just Coke?
I've never drank it. We're about to find out.
Oh, okay. That's fun. How is it? We need a rating.
I would say on a 13-point scale, I give it a solid 6 out of 13.
Okay.
Kind of sits a little burning in the tummy type of thing.
Like
kind
Coca-Cola.
Tastes like, yeah, but it kind of tastes more like a bottle cap.
That yummy. That's nice. Should I have you guess my soda? My soda has a little bit of lore to it.
Do you also want to put $13 on the table today?
Hypothetically, I could. Sure.
Okay. So if I get the right answer, it's never mind. I'm not putting the $13 on the table. But if I get the wrong answer, yeah, I had the $13 on the table.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. All right. I guess am I allowed to go ahead and like ask for a hint?
You can take a hint, sure.
Okay. All right. So my question is, what state/country do you live in? If you're open to saying that.
Maryland. That doesn't really give too much away, but that is an interesting question. I like that.
Well, because I know, like, in Florida, like, we have Publix. I'm not sure if you ever heard of Publix before.
I've heard of people joke about Publix in Florida before. Like, it's like the one thing Florida will always have.
Well, that and, mutant people that eat your face.
Yeah, that too. Crocodiles and such.
Exactly. Oh, God, that doesn't help limit down because I don't know too much about Maryland. I'm going to guess you definitely seem like you are I'm going to say, I want to say like a variation of, fuck it. I'm just going to say Diet Pepsi.
That was very close. So you were close with the diet because the thing is, a little bit of lore you might not know is I have type 1 diabetes. So I have to drink diet. I can't drink sugary, but it was Diet Coke instead.
God damn it.
And I got a can and everything. I decided to fit with the lore. I don't usually drink it canned, but I was like, I'm going to fit with the Sodacat vibe and get a little can of it. Am I allowed to crack it open?
Yes, go for it. Go for it.
Oh, thank goodness. I'm thirsty. I was driving home from 7-Eleven after buying this, and I was like, I want to drink this so bad, but I'm going to wait.
I appreciate you at least being very direct. Everyone else has like always thrown me through a loop. I've had previous guests like lie and say that it was liquor and they had it in like this like little Helix cup.
What in the world?
Yeah, I've had people bring on a hot sauce already. A bunch of different shit. Yeah, yeah.
A wonderful beverage. I liked bringing out a beverage that would fit like me as a person because I have to drink diet or I would die.
So let me ask you, any reason why Diet Coke over any other diet product though? Like, are you a fan of Coke?
I think ease of access mainly because the thing is before diabetes, I didn't like Coke. I drank root beer. I drank like Dr. Pepper, but the thing is Diet Dr. Pepper kind of tastes like battery acid. And so I started picking up Diet Coke because I was like, it's okay. And usually I'll just drink water instead. I've tried to pick up drinking like milk as like a side thing. Like this will be something I can drink that doesn't kill me, but
what percentage?
Ooh, that's a good question. I've been experimenting because I actually haven't drank milk a lot since I was a little kid. So last time I did it, I drank like 2%, but low key, whole milk does taste better.
Okay. So you don't drink it straight from the tip?
No, unfortunately, I don't have any supply line coming towards me.
I mean, if you want, I can send you a whole entire cow in the mail.
That would be nice. See, the thing is, I could also just go to Activision and get some from the employees because apparently they steal that from each other.
True. You know, have you ever worked at Activision?
I have not, no, but I see this comes along with the whole thing about me making the daily videos. I have been making daily videos for around 90 days now, and I do news content. So I talk about things that are going on in the world. And so a lot of the things I talk about revolve around me learning things about everything, just trying to learn about everything. So I learned about the Activision situation. One of my recent uploads about the Mad situation. There's so much that goes on that I have to like constantly be watching, and I'm about to burp because oh my god. Anyway, my goodness, Diet Coke is crazy. But yeah, I have to like learn all this stuff. So I had to learn about the Activision stuff just for fun. Essentially, it's like a hobby where I just have to know internet culture. Sorry, the burp knocked me off my talking.
No, you're good. You know, now that you kind of like did the burp and you cracked open the Pepsi, I can't even lie. I just thought about it. I was like, podcasts are technically like long form ASMRs if you think about it.
They are. Oh my god, literally. Okay, this is actually topical. What the hell? I recently have realized that I'm struggling to fall asleep. I stay up to like 1, 2 a.m. sometimes, so I can't fall asleep. So I've started playing podcasts to fall asleep. And so, like, literally in the past 3 days. So the fact that you brought this up is so topical. Yeah, I'll play a Sodacat podcast sometime soon.
I mean, you have to. I mean, you're a big fan of the Sodacast, right?
Oh, of course, yeah. I'm a number one fan. I actually have like a shirt that says it.
Which is your favorite episode?
Favorite episode? Okay, so let's pick my favorite number. 3. Favorite number between 1 and 15. We'll measure it. I will actually dive into some more of these though, because I do enjoy the vibe. So I think it'd be kind of nice.
What I like about the podcast and what I don't see with a lot of other smaller podcasts is that at the end of the day, so you have the opportunity to go ahead and vocalize your story on here because I'm going to get into like how you started like streaming. Obviously you do YouTube as well. We're going to get into all that, but it's just kind of interesting to see the different realities of every kind of streamer and YouTuber and, you know, influencer that I bring onto these podcasts. It's definitely unique. So I think you'll get a good perception of like some of the other people that I brought on compared to yourself.
I love that. Yeah. I'll definitely like doing this podcast will inspire me to watch more of it. You'll be my sleep podcast tonight.
Oh, I'll just be right in your ear as you fall asleep.
Yeah. I have a little TV. I've been experimenting. Like I've been watching people I never would have watched ever. Like one of the podcasts I watched recently was a Logan Paul one because I was like, let's see why people like this so much. So I watched it and I was like, Logan's not likable, but he had someone on that was really likable. What's his name? He's a super country-ish dude, and he has his own podcast. Theo Von.
Super country. Oh, yeah, bro. Everyone loves it.
He's
You kind of
so
look like Theo
funny.
Von. You kind of look like
I
him.
look like him. Honestly, I take that as a compliment. He's so funny. I love him. Like, he's just so silly. Like, they got him talking, and when you get him talking, he just talks about the dumbest things, completely unrelated too.
He's completely random, man. I don't know how the fuck, like, he'll just say the most random fucking story out of left field that you've never imagined before.
Yeah, and it's weird because, like, I think what I was thinking while watching him on the Logan podcast is, how is this dude so successful? Like, he's hilarious, but how did he, like, market himself? Like, how did he know to market himself? It's so silly because, like, there's a lot of people I know who are super funny but don't know how to market, and so they're just funny friends. It's just so funny to think about how this dude got big, but yeah.
Well, let's actually get into that because from what I've been seeing about you, you've actually been growing, a good little bit. And I want to go ahead and let's talk about how we met first, and then I want to go ahead and get your whole entire life story. Do you remember how we met?
It was on stream, right? You came into my chat, and you asked me something, wasn't it? You asked me something silly, and I forget what the question was. God,
Can I ask you a question?
Sure, ask me.
Thanks for letting me ask the question.
Yes, it was that. That was so goofy. What was I playing? I forget what I was playing. My brain wants to say Minecraft because I usually am, but it probably wasn't. It was some story game because I've been playing a lot of story games recently.
You were playing We Happy Few.
Yep. Yeah, that was for the it was a diabetes podcast. I was doing a charity stream.
Oh, I feel like I came in at the wrong time then.
No, you're fine. The charity stream, it wasn't going super well. I was playing a game that not a lot of my audience really cares for, so it wasn't like super active of a stream. So I was kind of just like I was fine with anyone saying hello in chat. I love that.
How many people do you normally get per stream?
So right now I average around 25 to 30, although it used to be different. Back before I took a 5-month break and I went to YouTube for 5 months to stream. Before that, I was averaging 40 to 60. It was pretty large. Yeah. I jumped to YouTube because I was like, okay, Twitch is going under. I need to find somewhere else to make my like a stand as a creator. And I went to YouTube. YouTube streaming was ass. And I learned that like video content on YouTube is really good. And that's what kind of inspired me to start doing what I'm doing now, which is streaming on Twitch, YouTube videos on the side.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and hop from that point. What got you into the whole entire thing? Where did you start?
So when I was younger, I used to watch people like Tobuscus, which is sad because he's very problematic in the modern day. But I used to watch creators like him and be like, I want to do that. Like a lot of people have these different ideas for what they want to do as a job when they get older. And a lot of people do say they want to be a YouTuber. But like I knew that the way that my personality is designed, talking to people and interacting with people is something that I genuinely find intriguing and can do well. And so when I got older, I eventually started making like really goofy, dumb edits on YouTube. Very few of them, like 4 or 5 of them. I made like 5 years ago, and that went nowhere. And my friends also liked video content, and we talked about how I hate editing, and they were like, why don't you do it live? And I'm like, where would I do that? They're like, well, we use Twitch. And I was like, what's Twitch? And they showed me it. And on December 28th of 2019, I decided to go live on Twitch. So it was my first time streaming was essentially New Year's into 2020. And so I eventually picked up the game SCP Secret Laboratory and streamed like 5 hours a day daily for like 4 months. It was crazy. I got addicted to it, and it blew me up in the scene in that area. Like I went from my starter subscriber count. My first month I hit monetization, and then my first like 3 months I hit 1,000 followers. It was crazy. Like it worked. It's just something that worked with me.
But how many viewers did you have consistently?
Oh my God, it was crazy. Like if you go back and look at the statistics, it went from like 10 average viewers in the first month to 20 to 30 and then like 38. And then that's where it kind of like plateaued for a little while and started going downhill after I stopped doing SL, because SCP-SL is a very niche, small game and the audience is very loyal. So if you're not doing that content, they walk away. But I still got an instated audience and managed to build from there. And that's what I'm very happy about.
But I mean, that's what I think like makes these smaller creators, because that's kind of where I started. Like I started doing, I'm not sure if you ever heard of Paladins.
I know about Paladins, yeah.
It's like an Overwatch ripoff, and then I did Getting Over It, and I did a bunch of other like smaller little indie games, which no one was playing at the time, also back in 2020. So it's kind of like, I kind of had the same thing as you, where the first week or two, I didn't really get much traction, but like after that, I didn't grow as much as you, but I then got monetized. I was averaging around anywhere between 5 to 15 people per stream, so on and so
That's
forth.
awesome.
Yeah, and then like when I stopped, I finished at about like 1.3K followers with an average of 20, 30 people per stream. But,
That's so cool.
when I see like a bunch of like other smaller streamers like playing like these other games like Minecraft, it's great, but I feel like there's not too much room for growth in getting new people to come in.
Yeah, if you don't have an established audience, games like Minecraft, Call of Duty, like League of Legends, they're extremely bad for creators. Because, like, it's great to play those games once you have at least maybe 15, 20 people watching, because then you're not the bottom of the list. But before that, no one's going to trust to click on your stream. So, and with Twitch being like 5 minutes of ads before every stream, it's very hard to like trust wasting 5 minutes of ad time to watch someone and then not care and click off immediately.
Well, they started doing that back, this year? Or did they start doing that last year? So,
around this year.
When I started and when you started, that was back in 2020. So they didn't have it.
Yeah, that was way before big ads, yeah.
You could just click on a stream and boom. The only time an ad would play, if I'm not mistaken, was when a streamer would went ahead and clicked a button that would make like an ad play for a minute so they could get ad revenue.
Yeah, you can also enable mid-roll ads. They would occasionally do stuff like that, but that was something you had to enable. It wasn't something that was instated by default.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's really cool.
So tell us a little bit more about like what got you to hop onto this train of I'm going to upload daily every single day on YouTube.
Ooh, okay. So I initially used to watch Moist Critical. Do you know Moist Critical? I assume you do. Penguin Zero. I mean, he literally lives in your area. He's in Tampa, which I don't know where you are in Florida. I'm not going to dox you, but he is. I love that guy. I would watch him all the time, and I love that he made like informative content with his own input, and it was daily. So it felt like you'd never run out of things to do when you talk to this guy. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I love streaming. And I love being able to do things live. It feels very organic. But not everyone can sit through a 4-hour stream. There's no way that people could sit down and watch me for 4 hours and hear everything I want to say. But a lot of the things I want to say, I want people to hear. And so I decided to start doing these 10-minute increment videos, around 8 to 10 minutes. I try to average it around there. Because everything that I said would be remembered. Everyone would watch that. And also, people who can't sit through a long stream could actually sit and consume this content. And it's helped. I have, while making daily videos, managed to reconnect with viewers I haven't talked to since I was a new streamer. Because they're like, I can actually watch your content again. I got a job. I can't watch your streams, but I can watch your videos. I'm like, makes me so happy.
I mean, that's kind of like why I stopped streaming, man. Because at the end of the day, like people just talked about how they don't have time. Because I don't know about your audience. My audience is very diverse. I've mentioned that I have people in Jamaica, I have people in Mexico, I have people legit all over the country somehow. I have no fucking clue. Obviously, most of my audience is based in the U.S., but it's kind of like we all work a job or we go to school, so where do you get that time to really sit down and watch a 4 or 5 hour stream,
Exactly. That's why I think we lucked out starting in 2020 because we literally started as quarantine started. No one had anything to do. They were all following these streamers because they had, what else are they going to do with their day? And so streaming blew up over quarantine, and it's starting to kind of fizzle out. It's still growing. Like streaming has become huge again in
Not
the
on Twitch.
IRL. Oh, yeah. Well, it's big in the IRL light. That's what's kind of implemented itself instead. Like people like Aiden Ross and Sneeko, which I mean, your opinions on them, regardless, what they are doing is growing. Like I don't exactly love the guys, but the content they make is getting consumed by a lot of people because people want to just watch people walk around outside now that they're not staying inside all the time.
Well, also they're controversial. Like Sneeko, the whole entire thing with Sneeko, I'm not sure if you're aware, his girlfriend has sex with other men, like, and he sits there and watches or something, right? He's a cuck.
Yeah, he got in trouble for being a cuck. He also has a lot of other lore. One of the things that's really, really funny, I had consumed his content before he went all red-pilled. I loved a video he made where he said he reacted to a video of himself 5 years ago.
Okay.
And he would like talk about it, like how he thought he would be, where he would be, and where he is now.
Yeah.
And I made a video like that. In like 2021, I made a video saying this will only make sense in 1 year. And I made that video, and a year later, I responded to it. And a year after that, I responded to it again. And I plan to do it again. I did it in November. So in November, I'll do it again. But it's so funny that a concept that inspired one of like the most interesting series in my channel was made by one of the most controversial now figures online. It's so goofy because I mean a lot of the stuff he does, and he actually came out recently and said he's planning to move away from that style of content, is because it's kind of dead. He did it because it gave attention. He didn't do it because it's what he actually believed. He doesn't believe in the Matrix.
So how do you work? I mean, if you don't mind pulling the curtain back, like do you personally do content that you personally enjoy yourself, like content that you would enjoy watching, or do you just kind of go off of, what some other people do, which is just doing what's popular?
So what I like to get a healthy mix, because the thing is, my videos recently, when I make them, I love them. I call it my form of self-care, is I'll watch my own videos sometimes for fun. I'll literally watch some of my 10-minute videos and I'll be like, that was a good video. That was nice. Swag. And, but I also try to stick with topics that people want to see. Like, that's why news content works so well for me, because I'm able to just talk about things and my takes on things and people listen to it. And I also, at the same time, get to stick to a popular niche. It's cool. It works in a perfect median way.
So why do people, and not to make it sound like a jab, but why would people want to listen to Saverino, my apologies, over someone else like Jimmy Lennon down the street? Why do we give a shit about you?
That's a very fair question. I think one of the big things is, like, I try to, like, people like Critical and Ludwig with Mogul Mail and Pyrocynical with his commentary content, they do a lot of digging. And one of the things I think is super important when I make my news content is I don't just tell you what's happening. I also refer to what has happened in the past. I refer to the deep lore of each person involved. I try to make sure that when I do this content, it's genuinely telling you things you would have not known otherwise. If a news title, if you just saw a news headline or read an article, like, I would go through, like, sometimes I will dig through like over 15 articles for a single video. And since I do these daily, I'm doing a lot of reading. It's goofy. I'm like reading novels worth of current events. And sometimes I'll like find a topic, I'll dig into it, realize there's not enough, and then I just know about that now, but I didn't even make a video on it. Like, that's how I know about the Sneeko stuff. I didn't make a video on Sneeko yet, but I know all of his lore because I just follow it.
Gotcha. So you like to do a lot of research. Like, you really like to know your shit before you go ahead and make a video about it.
Yeah. There's one time I've been caught not studying enough, and I got a lot of flack for it. It was for a video about a Russian content creator who joined...
The Mr. Beast knockoff?
Not the Mr. Beast one. No, this is a Russian content creator who's a streamer who helped a Russian you
can say it.
Oh, okay. He helped a neo-Nazi group.
Gotcha.
And so I made a video about it, and people got very angry. Specifically, the Russian audience came in and tried attacking me because they're like, they're not a neo-Nazi group. Thing is, there's a lot of evidence to point that they are, so I just talked about what I saw.
Yeah.
But still, you get flack if you're not 100% correct. And so I always aim to be 100% correct. Even that creator came forward and commented on my post and got angry at me.
Really?
Yeah. He came forward. And the thing is, there are also people who came on and said that a lot of the things I said were accurate. So I assume what it is just it's a super controversial topic, and sometimes people just disagree because it is not always like that black and white. But yeah.
Okay. So, damn. I'm just surprised that you had that. So, I mean, did that make you feel scared at any point? Like, oh shit, like I might end up getting, attacked or something, or I might have someone like send something to my home, or...
I mentioned it to my parents, and they got scared. I don't, though. I have this... I'm 21, and I still have that teenage mentality that I can't be killed.
Oh, you're invincible, bro.
But in a way that's, like, not, like, irrational. Like, I understand that people, if they get angry at me online, there's a very low chance they're going to find my location. There are ways that you could. There are definitely ways that you could definitely do it. I have some of my viewers who know where I work, but that's also because I've mentioned it before. It isn't,
do you work?
Like... so it's actually it's a local business. So if I were to give it away, it is kind of like within my area. It isn't very close to my house, but there's like a few of my viewers have like done a lot of like sleuthing and figured it out on their own, and I just allow that. I'm like, whatever, if go order. Like, one of my viewers ordered something from the online store and asked me to sign it, and so I signed it, and they got a hoodie with my signature on it, which I think is so cute. He's from Brazil too.
Oh, shit.
There's a my signed item in Brazil right now.
Oh shit, that's awesome. But so thing is, man, like, I actually used to work in insurance. Like, I used to be a sales representative, and it's actually a lot easier to find people's addresses than you might think. Like,
I bet.
I could legit. I made a joke because I was trying to get other people to come onto the podcast, and I made a joke in someone's chat saying, like, I can do a magic. Oh yeah, remember the magic trick thing that I told you about? Yo, I have a magic trick.
You were gonna guess something. What was it? You were gonna guess something about me. I forget what it was specifically.
Your shoes.
My shoes. Yeah, and it's because I wear Vans. I have so many pairs of Vans. I can show my alt camera.
Go for it.
Literally, there's 4 pairs over there. I have 3 more over here, so that's 7, and then I have more upstairs. I think it equates to about 12.
Okay.
I think pairs of Vans, because it's just like my obsession shoe. Although now I'm ironically wearing Crocs.
Fair enough. As long as you're comfy in them, that's all that matters.
That's what I'm saying.
But goddamn. No, and the whole entire magic, the magic thing joke, that was just supposed to be kind of like, so I'm remembered in your chat.
Yeah,
like,
I love that.
I do a good job of, like, if I pop up in your chat, I could just be a nuisance without really being a nuisance, and, like, you'll remember me, and you'll be like, oh, fuck this guy. He's back. I love that. I made someone else's stream turn into, like, a debate about cheese and, like, what their favorite cheese was.
That's so awesome. Actually, you just, like, made me remember a thing about why I started making content, and I completely forgot about it because of how I've been so into it today just for fun. Like, it's become a hobby. But when I first started doing it, I completely forgot this is why I did it. I had this existential crisis when I was younger where I was thinking about the fact that, like, because I'm super into the concepts of, like, the universe and the endless expansiveness of it and time and dimensions and, like third dimension, fourth dimension, that type of stuff, like 3D.
Joe Rogan? Are you good?
But I'm in a realistic way, because you know how, like, 2D is flat, 3D is 3-dimensional figures, and
I get you.
Is time, I think.
Are you sure about that one? Are you sure about that?
I used to be obsessed with this stuff. Hold up. Is the 4th dimension time? Because I think it is, like,
I thought
space.
I thought it was, like,
I think the 5th dimension is time.
I think, what is the 4th dimension? Fuck. I don't know why, but shadows comes to mind.
Time is the 4th dimension.
Time is the 4th? Okay.
Because you got to think about it this way. This is my obsession. This is so goofy. But, like, think about it. On a graph, 2-dimensional goes y-axis, x, or x-axis, y-axis, right?
Yeah.
And then 3D objects adds a z-axis, so it goes out in a 3rd dimension. So it's like the triangle type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 4th dimension is how those axes move through time. So that's that next. The 4th axis is its travel in the direction of time.
Okay.
That's something I've always been super interested in. And it made me very existential. And I started to fall into this, like, what am I? When I die, where am I going to go? And so I wanted to make a legacy. And so I wanted to start making content and existing online, because one of the most set in stone things that exists right now is the internet. I can't exactly go discover a new country. I can't discover a new disease. So I wanted to make content and kind of blow up as a creator, maybe. And I started off like that, and it became something I just love doing.
But here's the thing, right? If you become, let's say you pop off and you become, like, the next Mr. Beast, right? You can, in theory, technically do a lot of those things of, like, discovering a new country or technically creating one, conquering one, you know?
Yeah, I'll get my viewers like Kai Cenat and raid New York.
Oh my God, stop. Is he still in jail for that one? I don't know if he's out yet.
He got out. I made a video on this one, actually. He got out a day after, because it was a misunderstanding. He didn't intend to cause a riot. In fact, actually, there's another thing that happened just yesterday. He went to Georgia State University, and everyone in the university came to the football field to meet him.
Oh my God.
It was very cute. It was cute, but it wasn't a riot. Like, this was like an organized thing. Like, he was walking through the crowd, and they were all just like patting him on the back and stuff. Like, it wasn't like a people breaking things, which is nice.
How does that make you feel? Like, imagine if you have just, like, a crowd of people always, like, coming to you. Like, people always know who you are. That's a little weird, don't you think?
Yeah. Oh no, that's definitely, especially with games like SCPSL. This is not real life, but as an example. On SL, it's a free roam game in a giant facility, and it's proximity chat. So people, when I play the game, would follow me around and make sounds all the time. Now, that's annoying, but if someone were to just follow me around and just say things, I feel like I'd be less inclined to be annoyed. Like, in SL, people follow you around and play, like, the goddamn Russian anthem, bass boosted, and I don't want to hear that. I prefer to hear people talking, because I like the interaction from person to person.
Oh, imagine if people did that to you in real life.
Oh my God, I'd scream. Oh, like fart noises and stuff? I'm like, what are you, 12?
My God.
Like...
Oh my God. At first it'd kind of be, I would personally laugh at it, but, like, after, like, a day, I'd be like, all right, please shut the fuck up. I don't need to hear this.
Yeah, I played that game for a whole summer. That's how I blew up.
Oh
I played
my
it
God.
nonstop, and I started like at first I was like, oh my God, that's so funny, and then like I just started to be like, but yeah, that's where that went. It
So
was
do you mostly stream on Twitch, or do you mostly? Obviously, I know that you. All right, hold.
oh no.
For the audio listeners, my pop filter just went flying off. I smacked Sav in the face by accident.
Ah! Oh.
But do you personally prefer streaming on Twitch, or do you personally prefer making videos?
Ooh, okay. So lately I have been really into videos, mainly because it is a little more rewarding.
Okay.
However, oh my God,
Do it next time
burping.
into the mic. Do it into the
I
mic
will.
next time.
I'll do it right into the mic. However, I love the organicness of a stream. I can't pronounce things. I do that often, by the way. When I try to record my videos, I record them in segments of 1 minute each. And it's because I trip over my words so often. When people watch my videos, they're like, you speak so eloquently. I'm like, no, the hell I don't. Like, the editing speaks eloquently, but like, it's just so goofy. But yeah, I love video editing. I took a week off of streaming to focus on videos. I just came back this Friday, and I came back and loved it. And the thing is, like, when it comes to the monetary thing, like making money from content creation, I make more from streaming, but the thing is, YouTube has the capacity to be much more rewarding. When I post these videos, I get comments being like, why don't you have 100,000 subscribers? Like, you give off the vibe of a giant channel. And I get those comments, and my heart does a backflip. I'm like, oh my God, like, that's so swag. I love that type of validation.
Really?
Where on streaming, it's mainly just people being like, damn, why'd you go that way? You idiot. Oh, you're muted. Hey, your camera's lagging. And I want to like throw rocks at them. But like at the same time, I do love that interaction.
But I hate those kind of comments where you're like, where you just see people say, oh, don't forget about me when you blow up, or like, oh, why aren't you big yet? Like, bro, it's just like, talk about the video that I just made, you know? Because like, I imagine you put a lot of effort into that, and you want people to talk about what you just made instead of, oh, bro, you're going to be big one day. At least that's my take, because I put a lot of effort into like when I make an actual video.
That is fair. I think the reason that I'm okay with those comments is because of the fact that since I make them daily, I had to make a refined process for making them easy. So I don't exactly put like 4 hours of work into a video. Mm-hmm. Since I make them every single day, I had to find a way to make them easy to create. And so what I do is I pull up OBS and I pull up my editing software. And what I do is I record a minute, drag it in, edit that minute real quick, record another minute, drag it in, edit it really quick. Then it takes about maybe an hour and a half to make a video. A 10-minute video, hour and a half, it's out, and then I can go out and do my day. It's
Holy
crazy.
Shit. That's
and
efficient.
It is. And if you look at my videos from about like maybe 2 months ago when I first started the daily stuff and look at them now, I'm a completely different person. Like, it is insane how much I've changed while talking to a camera, and my editing style's changed and gotten better. I'm in the middle of editing a video right now about the writer's strike that I'm going to post later today, probably after this podcast.
Perfect.
But like, it's fun. It's really fun to make these. I actually would almost say I prefer editing over recording.
So what I'm hearing is Saverino is no longer going to be making videos. He's only going to be editing the Sodacast podcast, so we can put these out faster.
Yeah, I'll crank them out daily.
Daily, goddamn! Holy shit!
People used to make fun of me for how fast I edit, because I used to stream, and I went on maybe a 2-week tangent of trying to do daily videos maybe a year ago, but it was gaming videos and they did terrible. And people used to comment on like, I would stream and an hour after the stream I'd have a video out about that stream. People would be like, how did you do that? And I'm like, I hyper fixate on something. Like, I guess that's like a hyper fixation for me, because I have a plethora of different like neurodivergencies going on in my head. So when I make these videos, I will focus on it. I won't even eat or go to the bathroom. I'll just make it until it's done. I did this for an essay once. I wrote an essay for school. I wrote an 18-page essay in one sitting. It took like 4 hours. I sat down, wrote it all. I streamed it, actually. I was like, how can I actually do this without getting bored and walking away? So I went live and streamed writing the essay, and people watched it, and they still comment on it. Like, to this day, they're like, we should do another homework stream sometime. I'm like,
holy shit.
Okay. Like,
hold that thought. Give me 1 sec. Let me turn off my AC. Give me 1 sec.
Go ahead. He's running away, guys. While you're here, subscribe to Sodacast. I wasn't talking. I don't know.
Oh, I'm going to have to listen back to that in post-production and hear what you had to say.
I was like marinating. I was just kind of enjoying the AC, the lack of AC. I should turn my fan on too. I'm in a basement, so it's supposed to be cold, but it isn't. It's hot for some goddamn reason.
Well, thing is, I always have to turn off my AC because I have a wall unit of an AC. I don't have like a ceiling fan or anything like that, like an actual vent. So if I have it running, all you're gonna hear throughout the whole entire podcast is
Yeah.
and I'm like, bro, I don't want, because it's hard to get like guests on. Like for example, yourself. You and I have not really had any prior conversation before I kind of like reached out to you. So
Yeah.
it would be awkward if like I'm like, yo, I have a podcast, go check it out, and you go check it out and you're like, this
Air
looks,
conditioner in the background the whole
yeah,
time.
yeah, and then it's just like the camera is just like half covered like that, you know. It's like everything.
Yeah, with
sounds
your hand
horrible.
too. You're like holding your hand against the camera the entire time.
Yeah, well, I mean, you see the camera stand is actually broken, so I'm just holding it up manually like that.
Yeah, you've just been like vlogging at your desk essentially.
Yeah. So, what we were talking about, Sneeko being a cuck, right? Yeah.
Yeah. It's a life choice, you know. So it's a hobby.
Would you have you ever been cucked?
No.
Would you ever be
I don't
cucked?
think it would be a plan of mine. If I'm dating someone, I don't know if I'd prefer to see them getting freaky with somebody else.
Some people are into that, man. So I'm
not going to judge them. That's a big philosophy of mine. I always try to push that whenever I talk to my people. If someone does something that they enjoy and it doesn't hurt anyone else around them, go ahead. I don't care if it's weird. It doesn't affect me. Like if you're like I can consider it weird, but I'm not going to hate you for it. Like
Fair.
That's something I always try to push.
But what I like and what I want to do on these podcasts is I also want to challenge everyone's opinion. You know, so for example, like if I hear you say something that I disagree with, I'm going to challenge you on it. No, like not in a disrespectful way, but like I'm going to go ahead and I want to see like why you think that way. Like why are you a cuck? Yeah. You know, I'm not calling you a cuck, but like why are you a cuck? Why do you like to watch
here? Like, so why are you a cuck? He'll immediately leave.
Bro, holy shit. So I do want to ask you another question. What would you say is your favorite thing about content creation, and then your least favorite thing about content creation?
Ooh, okay. So favorite thing is definitely going to be, I guess, putting my thoughts out in the world. I really like sharing my philosophies and my thoughts about things out to people, and people either agreeing with them or maybe even adopting them, like being like, I actually like this. I'll think like this as well. And the worst part, by far the absolute worst part of content creation, is running a Discord. It is the worst thing ever. It is absolutely the worst. It's so specific. It's very, very specific. But like when I run a Discord server, I have to moderate. I have to tell my people that I consider like my friends, my group, how to act. Because like I don't want people being edgy and weird in my server. I want people to feel comfortable. But I don't want to yell at my people. It feels wrong. Like, I wish that I could just interact. I wish the Discord didn't exist. But however, I have a server with 2,500 people in it, so I have to kind of maintain it. It's gotten big.
2,500?
The reason that it's so large as well is because I started it like 5 years ago. It was my high school friend group chat. And then as I made content, I grew into it. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's
because I've had it since. Because a lot of creators, when they start streaming and then make a Discord. I just happened to already have a server. And so ever since I started streaming, I was funneling people into there.
Well, okay. All right. So that's actually something that I want to talk to you about, because I take pride in how I went about my Discord. Because my Discord never blew up to the size of yours did, but I had almost, I think, around 400 people in my Discord at once. And a lot of my fans back in the day were very, very, very dedicated. We would have like community challenges in the Discord before they added like a whole bunch of updates to Discord, where now I think they actually do have like daily
games.
Yeah. So like we actually like implemented a whole bunch of stuff into my Discord. So I want to actually talk to you about that. So you have how many moderators? Let me ask you that. How many mods do you have?
I think I have around like 14 right now. I have a good amount. It's not like a ton, and some of them aren't as active as others, but the ones that are active really pick up the weight. Like, they are good mods.
Are they located just like in your area, or are they located around like the world?
They're mods that I pick up over time. One of my best mods lives in Brazil. He's the one that bought the shirt that I had me sign. He lives in Brazil, and he's also my top donator because his dad is the doctor and physician for the president. He has He has endless money, and he's so supportive of my channel. I appreciate him so much. That is why there's a Brazilian flag in the background.
Yeah, that's what I was about to mention. I was going to say.
I'm not Brazilian. I'm Italian, Irish, and German. And this guy, he sent a flag, so I kept it.
Are we the same person?
Are we?
I'm Irish, Italian, German, Russian, and Polish.
Ooh, Russian and Polish. That's an interesting combo as well.
Yeah. So I internally hate my life because I was also born a Jew.
Just like the most complicated like amalgamation of genetics.
Yes.
It's unfortunate. I want to get more flags though. Like I'd love to get like an Italian flag and like all the other ones that fit my nationalities, and then just have Brazil there to really mix people up all the time.
Stop.
Hammer time?
Stop.
Oh, stop. Yes.
For all the audio listeners, he has a stop sign in behind him.
Not only that, there's also a crosswalk sign over there.
Oh shit.
And in my bedroom, I also have a restroom sign. I acquired them via borrowing from public locations in my past and asking very nicely. There's actually there's a stamp on the back of the stop sign that says you're not allowed to steal this. Wait,
did you actually steal it or did you just buy it?
Oh no! I was out with friends one night and we were a little tipsy and we saw it in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
And I grabbed it and ran, and we stuck it in the back of his car and drove home with it.
So
it was knocked over.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask.
It wasn't in the ground. No, I didn't like Hulk smash it out of the ground. It was laying on the street, and so I took it home. And my dad's a mechanic, so he has tons of tools. And so we just took it apart. We took it off the pole after bringing it home, and now I have a stop sign. There's also a stop sign on a pole that's still behind the middle school in our area, like our local middle school, that I took but couldn't get it off the pole. And so I left it there. And it's still there. It's been years. And it's still there.
Why?
I was going to take it and I didn't, so I left it behind a dumpster. And somehow no one's found it. It's so funny. They replaced it. They just put a new one up. I mean, it's my tax dollars anyway. I guess that's fair.
Fair enough. Speaking of which, so we didn't get too much into like where you work, but what do you do for work? If you don't mind asking, me asking.
I'm totally fine with that. So it's a local business and I love it so much. I love working there because it's run by a family, and we sell in the front of the store. We sell pop culture stuff. We have a full-sized Batman in there, like a human-sized Batman, a human-sized Jason, a human-sized Spider-Man. Who else? Terminator and Frankenstein.
Holy
as well as
shit.
like we have like the actual xenomorph head from the Alien movie being sold for $10,000 in our store. It's crazy.
If I buy it, can you ship it?
Yeah, probably. It's one of the oldest things we have in the shop. We also have like the Grinch mask, like a mold of the Grinch mask from the Jim Carrey movie and stuff like that. It's so cool. But you know what makes it even cooler? In the back where I work, we sell gelato. I sell Italian ice cream. It's such a good shop. I love it so much.
That is such a fucking mix. What the fuck?
I love it so much. And the thing is, everyone who works there is so nice. It's run by a family, and I love that family. And I put a lot of love into that place. A lot of younger kids work there. It's mainly like I don't exactly get paid a lot to work there, but I love working there, and so I do it a lot. I'll be working there later today. I work like 5 later today.
Are you also Eastern Standard Time?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So that'll be something I do then. But I don't even know if I get paid above minimum wage because I also make a lot in tips because I get tips from gelato.
Do you mind me asking how much you make?
I actually don't even know exactly. I'd have to like look at the like amount that I made last shift that's on the app and then like do the math of how many hours I worked, which isn't a ton.
Gotcha. But then you do get tips, right? You get 100% of it, or how does that work?
I get 100% of the tips, which is really nice.
That's
like
pretty
people
good.
Are very, very nice. Like we get a lot of people who come in. There are occasionally people who just don't tip anything, but people do tip, which is very nice. They even allow retail to get tips, which is very rare because it's very rare that someone's tipping someone in retail unless someone buys like a super expensive thing. Because we have signed stuff. We actually have a image of like it's a cutout of like a 3D cutout of the scene in Breaking Bad where he's standing there with the gun, and it's signed by Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul.
Oh shit, that's actually really fucking cool.
We also have 3 Funko Pops that are signed by Robert Downey Jr. and 2 signed by Post Malone.
Okay, now I need to ask, do you guys have an online store? You don't have to tell me the name of it. You could just DM it to me after.
I think they're setting it up. I don't know if it's like been perfected yet,
Because
But
I really want to buy something from your store. I can't drive up or fly up quite yet, but like
Yeah.
I'd love to go. Like if you actually tell me the name of the place, I'll go and I
I'd do
want to
that.
buy something.
Yeah, it's a cool little shop, and I love it so much. Like it isn't even. It's more of like literally, it's another job that I do as a passion thing, alongside being able to stream. Like adding on streaming and the work together, I make enough to essentially have been working a full-time job with the amount of time that takes. Because like I don't exactly work 8-hour shifts. I work like maybe 3, 4-hour, 5-hour shifts at a time.
Are you part-time or are you technically considered full-time with them?
I'm technically considered full-time because the way they do it is they do half the day one person works, the other half the day another person works, and there's 2 people in the building at all time, one on gelato, one on retail. And so I just work half the day. And so it's not like a super long day, which makes it nice because that gives me time to stream and make videos alongside it.
Must be nice, man. I work a full 8-hour shift every single day, except
I have
on
to eventually.
Saturdays and
I'm still in
Sundays.
college though.
What
So
are you going to college for?
right now, psychology. I've genuinely been really interested in the concept of the human brain and the idea of like how it develops. I find it genuinely really interesting.
Tell me how my brain works.
I'm watching. I'm like analyzing them,
Tell me.
breaking it apart.
How am I as a person? Tell me. Am I a horrible person? Am I a good person?
I'll rub on your head like a crystal ball and be able to read it.
I'll shave my head again. I actually shaved my head before, so I'll shave it again for you. And
I think I saw
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Was that? Did you ever have your head like almost buzz cut on one of the podcasts? Because that
Yeah.
might have been one of the ones I watched. Okay.
Yeah. So I've
Yeah.
actually grown out my hair like really long before, twice now, and I've donated it to charity twice now. So
That's
yeah.
awesome. I just
Yeah.
grow my hair out really long. It's just really, you can't even really tell how long it is right now, but it goes like pretty far back.
Well, you also have
And-
curly hair. That's why. So
Oh,
it doesn't- yeah. So it doesn't look as long. But
Yeah.
it looks like a mullet, and I like it.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to take this
Sorry.
headset off, it like puffs out.
Okay. Yeah, that
It's very
definitely looks
puffy.
different.
And if you look at pictures of me from like throughout my childhood, like throughout high school, I got it short because I went to a private high school, so I couldn't have my hair go past my collar. But in like middle school, I had a full on like afro. My dad did too.
Oh shit. So
The Italian genetics.
I'm assuming it's a little bit colder up there, right? Like, what's the temperature right now?
Actually, Maryland is surprisingly like the most like I'd say bipolar state ever because it goes from like 90 to 100 some days, and then some days it's like 40. And like in the wintertime we'll get into the negatives, but in the summertime we'll get into the 110s. Like we get everywhere. We get every diverse type of weather.
I was about to show it on camera, and then I realized I was about to dox myself. But currently, it's 83 degrees over here. So that's why, and it's very humid. It's always very humid over here.
It's 80 for me right now.
It's 80. Okay, so we're right around the same mark. Maybe
Yeah, high of 85, low of 56 today. That's the most like insane diverse like temperatures.
maybe we're neighbors.
Maybe I'm actually outside your house right now. I'm
Yeah.
coming. I'm gonna go in. I'll come in with the missile.
It would have just been funny if someone just started robbing me right now. Oh shit! Oh, hey yo! wait. Was there a little hole at the bottom there?
Yeah, this is not fake. This is like a disarmed test dummy missile.
Damn, it would have been awesome if you would have poured the soda in there. But I feel like that would
would've
probably
been
kill.
funny.
That would have killed. Would that kill you? Would you have to go to the hospital for that?
Well, it would fill all the way through the middle, and there are spiders in this.
Oh yeah, never mind. Don't do that.
This basement is infested. Not infested. It just has a lot of spiders as well as cave crickets.
Actually,
Cave crickets are fun. I love them so much and wanted to blow them up.
I'll make you another bet. Remember how we made a backflip bet? I told you if you do a backflip, I'd give you, what was it, $130?
You've actually made me want to learn to do a backflip, by the way. Like
I
I was
can
thinking
show
about
you
that the
how.
other day.
I can show you how. It's not hard. You just got to aim vertical. That's it. If you get the vertical right,
Aim
you're
vertical?
good. That's
That
all
makes
you got to
sense.
do.
I
But
want to get good at front flips first.
front flips are harder.
Really?
Yes.
I'm
Because-
just scared of like going in a direction I'm not looking. That's what I'm worried about.
That's why you got to focus on just going up. Go to like, do you have like a little like jump area in it, like where you
I
live?
have a trampoline.
Okay, so bro, go do it on a trampoline. But like if you try to do a front flip, you're going to realize, oh shit, this is a lot harder than I think because you're directly pointing your neck and your spine right at the ground like that.
Oh, usually I've pulled off a front flip before, but I don't land on my feet. I land directly on my back, flat. It makes like a plop sound.
Oy. Ooh, God. Really quick to hop back over to to about where you said that you work. I actually want to tell you something fucking hilarious. And if you ever come down here, let me know and I'll bring you to this area. I recently went to Orlando. I'm assuming you know about Orlando, right? Disney World, all that.
I used to go to Disney. I think I went to like Disney like 4 times as a kid and then never again because like it's just so expensive. But I got the experience.
I mean, well, I get a different price because I'm a Florida resident, so that's probably why. But like to me, like I got a day pass and it was like. I mean, for 2 people it was $500, so I guess that's quite a bit. Okay, so I mean, $250 per person. I mean, to me that doesn't sound bad, but obviously, you know, you're talking about the difference, like how much money you make compared to I work in sales, so I make a good amount. I make a good amount of money.
That makes sense.
But I recently went up to Orlando, and I also went to a comic book store recently. Turns out it was also a bar. But not an ordinary bar, because so you walk through the whole entire front of the store. They have a giant Hulk statue, like a life-size Hulk statue, a life-size Deadpool statue. It looks really fucking cool. They have comics, Funko Pops, action figures. And then you hear like this noise just coming from like the back, and you're like, are we allowed to go back there? Like employees like having a party or some shit? They're like, no, you can go back there. You can go back there. So you open up this little hidden door, and all of a sudden you see strippers. You see strippers, and yeah.
Was it like? Is it one of those like? Is it one of those bars that were made during like the Prohibition, like a secret, a speakeasy?
I couldn't even tell. Like it looks modern because it's in a mall.
Interesting. Like I'm wondering if it was like a speakeasy that got modernized over time.
I don't think so. I don't.
That's so interesting.
Because like there was only one stripper in there, and she was in a cage, and she was dressed like Princess Peach, but like lewd, and like a thong and shit.
Free her, she's trapped.
And she was talking to like this couple that was going out on a date, and I was just like, what the fuck am I walking into right now?
Oh no, let her out.
But what was really cool is they had like some Fallout drinks. I'm not sure if you ever played Fallout.
I love Fallout. Oh my god. So the Fallout game that I was obsessed with as a kid, not everyone loves. I loved Fallout 4. I know not everyone loves 4. A lot of people like I played 4. Everyone's like, play New Vegas. I'm like, it was just a nostalgic thing for me. It was the game that I was given on my Xbox. Same way like I love Halo, but my first Halo game was Halo 4. And everyone's like, ew, why do you play Halo 4? I'm like, I was the one that it came with my Xbox. And so I just played it. And then I played Reach, and I played 2, and I played 1, and I played 3. But like, I started on 4, and that was where my love for the game was started.
Oh, God, bro. Get out of here. Halo 2 is the best, hands down.
Halo 2 is good. Halo 2 is really good. It has some of the best Chief moments.
Yes.
And also the multiplayer is definitely the most Halo-y. Like Halo 4's multiplayer wasn't great. I played it for what it was, but after trying the other Halo multiplayers, I'm like, wow. Like Reach, I loved Reach. Reach was real, which I mean is the most like frozen cold take ever. Everyone loved Reach, but
Everyone
still.
loves Reach. What's your take on Infinite? Have you played it?
Infinite. Okay. I played it. I got it when it first came out. I liked it. I liked the campaign, but it didn't feel like Halo. It felt like you were playing as Master Chief, but in like Fortnite. Like you're in a giant free roam map with like the Halo guns and the Halo experience, but it wasn't really a Halo campaign. You were just moving in a free roam map. And then like the multiplayer felt like Call of Duty, but also without any, because it was missing all the things that made Halo Halo. There was no infection. There's none of the fun stuff. It felt like I was playing like Advanced Warfare in Call of Duty, which, hot take, I actually enjoyed that game. That was a good Call of Duty.
Which one was the one that like did absolutely horrible? Which Call of Duty
5.
was it?
Wait, for Call of Duty?
Yeah, for Call of Duty. It
Infinite
was
Warfare, I think, and World War II.
Which one was like the super futuristic one? Was that Warfare?
Infinite Warfare. Because so the way it worked was there was the Modern Warfare games, and as the Modern Warfare games are coming out, the Black Ops games came out. Both of those beloved games. Modern Warfare 2 and 3, and even 1 were really, really good. So was Black Ops 1 and 2. But then Advanced Warfare came out, and I loved that. That was the first boots off the ground futuristic game, and they did it well. It did exactly what it wanted to do, but it got looped in with all the other futuristic games that came after it, and no one liked those. Like Infinite Warfare was bad. Black Ops 3 people liked, Black Ops 4 people didn't really like. So those are all futuristic ones they didn't like, and then they were like, we got to backpedal. So they went to World War II and made another shitter. And then we started
World War II. That was my first Call of Duty game. I loved World War II. I don't care what you say.
I understand that. No, I understand that because like the thing is, certain games, they mean a lot to the person because of the fact that it was either their first game or a game that they played a lot and really loved. Like I loved Advanced Warfare because it was during a time in my life where I was playing with friends after every time we went to go play lacrosse, and then we would play a game, go home, and all play Advanced Warfare together. And so I look back on that game with so much love because of the fact that that was something I played a lot as a kid. But I can also see where people hate it because it wasn't Black Ops. It wasn't Modern Warfare. And it started a trend of futuristic games that ended up getting worse and worse with every release.
Is there any good Call of Duty game now, like modern Call of Duty game?
I actually like the new Modern Warfare games. Modern Warfare 1 and 2 that came out recently. I think they're all right. The campaign is really good. No, they're actually remakes. So the Modern Warfare 1 and 2 that came out recently, the 2019 and the 2021 one, I think 2021 or 22.
I think it's 22.
It is. They are complete remasters of the entire story. If you play the campaign, it's a completely different campaign, but with all the same characters. And so like they change all the backstories of all the characters and how they meet, but keep them relatively within the same universe. And it's really cool because it's like a fresh new take on it. Because like the old one made sense for its time. The enemies were Russians as well as terrorists, and it kind of mixed in with like the Middle East and stuff like that. And there was like the situation with the nuking in the Middle East. Like that was topical for the time. But now the enemies are all like Russian like mafia or Russian like secret private military, and it's more topical with our modern time, and it works. And I think it's really good. And it just takes all our beloved characters and does it again. And 3 is going to be really good because they're bringing back Makarov. And they're going to do a whole new thing with him. Because instead of him being like someone who worked with actual like the Russian military, he's going to be working with a secret like a private military, a secret organization. He's like a criminal to even Russia, which is going to be hype.
Where do you play your games, by the way? Are you a console gamer or are you a PC gamer?
PC now. I used to be a console gamer, but I got a PC about 3 years ago, which is when I started streaming. And I just slowly learned how to do PC, and now I can barely use a controller. I usually I just started playing Outlast on my Xbox. I cracked out my old Xbox One again, and I've been playing Outlast on it. Do you not like Outlast?
I don't like scary games, bro. I don't like it. I get too anxious. I get fucking like tied up like, oh, they're right behind me type shit. And I turn around and then like you fuck yourself over.
I love scary games, but I love scary games even more when someone's watching me. When someone's watching me, I love it so much because of the fact that I'm so ballsy in a scary game, which was something that was given to me by my friend. My friend, his name's Matt. He used to play scary games, and I used to watch him do it, and I used to be terrified of scary games. I wouldn't even touch them. I wouldn't even play zombies on Call of Duty, and he got me into zombies.
Yeah.
And it was because he's just so good at understanding that it is a game, and there is nothing to be scared of because none of it can actually hurt you. And of course, I still fall for that. I still jump when I get scared in a game. I still feel like I'm the character in the game. But I still recognize the limitations of a game. Like, I love breaking it. Like, in Outlast, one of the opening scenes, you turn on a computer, and the lights the power gets shut off, and then a big buff guy comes in the room to beat you up, and you have to hide in a locker. So what I do is, you're supposed to hide in the locker until he leaves. It's one of those, like, animations where he's like, oh, God, he's going to get me. Oh, he doesn't get me, and then he walks away. Yeah. What I do is, he walks in the room, looks at the computer, I get out of the locker and sprint past him and go down the hallway. And I think it's so funny, because I broke it. In my recent playthrough, I ran so fast, I skipped an entire stealth segment where you're supposed to avoid him, because I ran past him and just went into the basement. Like,
Did he,
I love
despawn
that.
And then respawn in the basement or some shit?
No, because you get a different enemy in the basement once you go there.
Gotcha.
So I just broke the game by avoiding him. It was so funny.
What would you say, though, is like your worst... Okay, what would you say is your like worst experience with like a video game character? Like, what would you say the character that you're most afraid of in any game, or you have been most afraid of in any game?
Ooh, I feel like I'm less scared of video game characters than I am of a movie horror character that's like broken me. Because like video game characters, to an extent, I'm in control, and I trust myself to know how to get out of a situation. So like, I mean, I feel like the one thing that would be scary is less a certain character, and it is large bugs. If a large bug attacks me in a game, if a giant bug, like those goddamn giant mosquitoes in Fallout, I quiver. I cannot handle it. I have to use VATS every time because I cannot aim at it and shoot it because I'm terrified of them. Giant bugs. That's one of the reasons I haven't tackled Skyrim yet is because of the giant spiders in the first mission. I'm like, I just don't want to. I don't even want to deal with it. I just get away from me.
Oh, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, man. So I have a phobia of cockroaches. I am terrified of cockroaches. Like, legit, I will scream. I will have my significant other. I will even have my mom come over and come kill the bug before I get it. I don't give a shit. I hate them. So I got home late last night at like 3 a.m. and I went to bed And then I woke up at 6 a.m. this morning to like a little bit of like tickling on my neck.
Oh my God, I cry.
Like I'm half awake. I'm like, what the fuck? I keep on feeling it. So I'm just like, I grab it and like there's something in my hand. I'm like half awake. I hold it out in front of me like this. I was like, what the fuck? What? Is that like a piece of poop from my cat? Because my cat cuddles me when I sleep. And I feel like it's trying to move in my hand. I'm like, my eyes open a little bit wider. I'm like, oh, what the fuck?
It's a guy.
I throw it. Like I peg it like the TV right back here. I'm like, fuck that. And then it just starts to sprint around my fucking living room here. And I'm like, nope. I grab my fucking sandal, immediately stomp on it, bro. And I did not go back to sleep. I was fucking terrified. That was the worst way to wake up today.
That's terrible. My thing is my fear is actually very, like, everyone's scared of this. Spiders. I hate spiders. I'm so scared of spiders. And the thing is, it started as a fear when I was a little kid, when I had a nightmare of all my friends being eaten by a giant spider. And ever since then, I've just been creeped out by them. Mm-hmm. But the problem is, they're so common. Like, in my basement, last night, I have some friends that are very hippie-ish, and they love animals. And it's given me a new appreciation for them. So, like, as of lately, I've been trying to not just murder a spider the second I see it. Now, like, last night, I saw, like, this red spider on my wall, and I went up and took a little close look at it. And I was like, I could kill this right now. But I was like, I'm going to give you a chance to go into my walls and stay there. And I went to bed. And I haven't seen him since. He went into the walls. I'm working on being more accepting of that type of stuff. But, I mean, it's like, that's a very, like, hippie thing to say, but it's something that I think is
okay.
An interesting philosophy.
I think clearly we're going to, have different opinions on this. But when I think it comes to insects and stuff, I think it's all right to kill them. Reason being is because there are so many bugs out there. Like, we have, 7 billion people on this planet?
Yeah, I think we're edging on 8 billion. We might have passed 8 billion, actually. Very recently.
I don't know if we passed 8 billion yet. I think we're very close, but I don't know if we passed it quite yet. I think we're 7.8? 7.8 if I'm not mistaken?
Probably. I won't even fact check it. We'll let here. If you're watching this right now, you fact check it. How close are we? Are we at 8 billion yet? Not yet?
We're asking you right now. Tell us right now while you're listening, wherever you're listening to the podcast.
Say it out loud. Don't even comment it. Just say it out loud.
Just say it. Say it.
There you go. Thank you.
Thank you. See? There we go. We got the right answer now.
Perfect.
But I mean,
Dora the Explorer vibe right there.
but with bugs, there's like trillions upon quintillions, if I'm not mistaken. Like, there's so many insects out there because they just have much bigger populations. Like ants, for example.
Yeah, I actually have an ant problem right now upstairs, and for some reason, this is literally just like the hippie ass vibe. Yesterday, I saw one of them cleaning their antenna, and I was like, "Look at that little guy," and I just walked away. I was like, "I'm just gonna let him do him." And like the thing is, I could just kill it. There are so many, and it really, the philosophy of like loving an ant isn't really that great. But at the same time, I don't really care. It's not my job to wipe out the ant population. Set up a trap or something.
I have a video idea for you. Why? I have a video idea for you. Why do we go ahead and not really get scared by ants, but we get scared by cockroaches, spiders, bigger insects? Why? Why is that the case?
Although something I do get scared of is many ants in one spot. I think that swarms get spooky, in my opinion.
Okay, but thing is, if you see a swarm of anything, you're going to get terrified. But if you see an individual ant, you're not going to go, oh!
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
You see a spider and you're going to go, oh! Or a roach, like I'm going to go, ah! Type shit. But, when I feel one on my neck, then I'm going to go, ah! And peg it at the fucking TV.
At the TV, yeah.
Yeah. But why is that not the case with like ants? Like, we see an individual ant, we're like, oh, whatever.
I wonder if it's due to normalization. Like, we're so used to it. Because, like, ants are one of the most common bugs you can find. They're everywhere on the globe.
What about ladybugs? What about mosquitoes? What about, like...
Mosquitoes, I'd kill on sight. They don't do anything good.
But what I'm saying is you're not afraid of mosquito. You're just like, this is annoying, I'm going to kill it. But, like, with cockroaches or spiders...
I wonder if it's due to culture, like due to the fact that we have been taught ever since, like every time that bugs are characters in anything, the spider is the bad guy. It's always shown as this malicious hunting predator. And so we're kind of brought up to fear them. Like cats, for example. We love cats. They're adorable, but they're also one of the most vicious predators on the planet. And if we were around a cat that was larger, it would kill us. But for some reason, we think they're adorable.
The most.
Yeah, they are.
Because they're agile as fuck. They have a strong bite, claws.
They're also like unbreakable. You like their skin. Like I have cats to try and give a cat, or you have cats as well. To try and give a cat like a vaccine or a shot to puncture its skin, it takes like effort. Like, you need to like fight it. They're like bulletproof, and not only that, they're invasive. They have so many babies. Like, they're genuinely like a pest, and yet we love them. Probably because of Toxoplasma gondii. Do you know about that?
No, what the fuck is that?
Toxoplasma gondii is a bacteria that cats have that comes out in their feces. And what it is it was initially developed as a bacteria that got into their prey that made them love cats. So the prey would go towards the cat instead of running away. And so the cat would kill it easier. But about 1/3 of all humans are affected by Toxoplasma gondii. And it is a bacteria that essentially makes us fall in love with the cat and be unable to stop loving the cat. And that's where the theory is why crazy cat ladies exist. There's actually insane quantities of Toxoplasma gondii found in ancient Egyptian mummies, which is why people believe that they revered cats as gods, which is really interesting.
So from what I'm hearing, you have a cat.
Yes.
You love your cat.
Oh, indeed. I'm totally infected by it.
When
I have
you
a litter
got
box
your
down
cat, you smelt your cat's shit and was like, "Yep,
And I was
this
like,
is the one.
It's like a love potion.
This is the one. This
This
is
is the one.
This is a cat for me." God damn, bro.
It's so interesting.
Do you have any dogs?
I do. And actually, my mom runs a doggy daycare. So
Are we actually the same person? My mom is into dog rescue.
that's so cool. Yeah,
Holy shit.
we'll have upwards of like 8 to 12 dogs in our house sometimes during the summertime. We'll have
Right.
so many dogs, and I'm cool with it. I know all their names. Some of them are more common than others, and some of them, like, I know all their like different personalities and the way they interact with each other. It's so cute getting to know them. I own a dog. His name's TJ, and he's a tiny little white Havanese, which is like a larger looking Shih Tzu, but like they kind of look like the dogs in those like normal like those dog food commercials where it's like the white dog with like the triangle ears, but like he has a rounder face than those.
Gotcha. So he's a little pudgy.
A little. He's actually relatively skinny now because he like is old. But
Gotcha.
I love him. He's a little goofball.
Oh, and sorry, but back to the spider thing. So I actually remembered. So the reason why we're afraid of spiders is because there's back when we were cavemen, right? We grew up, knowing that we would sleep in caves, and what we did was spiders would then back in the day crawl up in our ears and our nose and our mouths. So I know that there's kind of like that's why we don't like tickling. That's actually the reason why we do not like tickling. Like, you know how your body like reacts?
I'm totally remembering that fact. I love small facts like that.
Yeah. So if you get tickled, the reason for that is because your ancestors are like, fuck spiders, fuck this shit, fuck this. They're going to fucking kill me.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Do you have any little fun facts like that?
Well, I just literally, as you were saying that, I got pinged. So I have a channel in my server called Video Ideas where I let my viewers give me ideas for videos, and I just got pinged in it. And they're like, I cannot make this shit up. And it was like, Norfolk police pull over man with bull riding shotgun. There was a man who engineered his car. He cut the roof off of half of it and put a gate on the side, and he had a bull in his car with him.
Oh, that actually sounds fucking lit.
That's a video idea. I'll make a video on that later.
Holy shit, that's something I definitely gotta watch.
That's so awesome. I'm gonna look into that. See, that's the thing though. Like, when I make those videos, I'm gonna look into it, and I'm not just gonna look into the video. I'm not gonna just talk about a bull riding shotgun. I'm gonna talk about the guy. Talk about how he the bull's name, probably like his interaction with the bull, why he got into that situation, where he is now. Did he go to jail? Like, I want to do that. That's why I like being informative. Circling back to what you talked about earlier.
No, of course. So that's also something I was going to mention. It's so interesting to see everyone's like different ideas and different structures of how they go about like editing and planning out a video. Are you the kind of person that does the thumbnail before the video or video before the thumbnail?
Oh, thumbnail after the video, which is dumb of me. Like, I should make the thumbnail before. But the thing is, what happens is when I make my videos, since I do all my studying as I'm making it, I'll find out things after making it. And then that thing I found out would work in the thumbnail. Like, and that's another thing with the editing style. I actually used to edit my videos by recording for 10 minutes and then cutting out the dead space.
Yeah.
But I saw Critical one day. This one thing happened in a Critical video where I saw him talk, and as he was talking, I saw for the last second him reach to the side as he finished, right before it cut, and I was like, I get it now. He doesn't record for 10 minutes. He records talking an idea, and then he stops recording and thinks about what he wants to say next, and then tries again. And I was like, I'm gonna do that, and so that's what I've been doing ever since then.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why I went off on that random tangent, but that's sort of relevant.
No, man, like that's what these podcasts are all about. Because like at the end of the day, like, all right, imagine like you send some of your viewers over here to come watch the podcast. Like they want to, I like to me, it's always interesting to see like the behind the scenes of like what your thought process is like with all this shit. That's why I got into the podcasting.
Yeah, I get that, and I love that. I love that so much. I find podcasts another awesome like organic style of content. Same with streaming. Like it's stuff where it is literally just the creator's stream of thought. You get to just hear everything they think about. And when it's to someone who talks a lot and someone who likes to talk, you're going to get a lot of good content. That's also why, like, when I said I watched Logan Paul's podcast, I watched it and I was like, I can see why people don't like this guy. like he would get the guest on and he would ask a question and it would more often than not fall flat and the guest would just be like kind of weird. But then the guest would talk about something else and then I'd be engaged. Because that's like Theo Von was actually funny.
Yeah.
Logan Paul was kind of just laughing at what Theo Von would say. And I'd be like, why are you like, he could be gone and the podcast would be no different.
Well, I kind of agree with that, and I also kind of disagree with that. So if when you watch some of my earlier podcast episodes, I was very like, I'm in it. Like I'm talking with you, and I'm trying to take like a little bit more of a backseat approach because at the end of the day, I want these podcasts to be more about the guest. I want to take more of a Mr. Beast point of view on it, where like if you actually watch Mr. Beast videos, how much do you really know about Jimmy? How much do you actually know about him?
That's a good point. Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
good.
I do like how you have been in this podcast over. Like, you've been very like it's been a bit more of a conversation that like you have added your story as well. But I can understand what you mean by
no.
Like,
but what I'm saying is like I don't want to just go like off on a tangent, being like, oh well, let me tell you my whole entire life story. Let's like, and you're kind of like, yeah, yeah.
That could definitely get old for people who view your podcast often because they'd be like, I've already heard this story.
Exactly.
Does that make sense?
Like, I don't want to
totally
do
get
that. I don't want to do that. Like I done that a little bit earlier on. I'm trying to, because I'm only on, this is the 15th episode of the podcast, which is still relatively early on. Mm-hmm. But what I like about, at least how I've been going about the podcast, what I notice is like a lot of other smaller creators, they struggle with getting like new people on their podcast. And I don't know why, man. I don't know if they're just afraid to like talk to people, but they have
reaching
like,
out is hard.
They usually just have like themselves and a co-host. I'm like, that's fun, but then that gets very old very quickly.
Oh, definitely. No, I totally agree. That's why I think you and a co-host would work for the first maybe 2 episodes, maybe 3 max, because then like you get to instate how you want your podcast to kind of feel, so the newer viewers are like, okay, well this is what's going to be, and then you start bringing in guests and it really adds a new mix in, because right as people might get tired of a host and a co-host, then a new mix is added in and it immediately becomes engaging again, which I assume is kind of like I'm not exactly a professional podcaster. I dabbled in it for a very short time a long time ago, but I've never really been
a long time ago. Oh, I was going to mention, when are we going to see your podcast start?
So what I did a long time ago is before I started doing YouTube, I wanted to start posting on YouTube, but didn't know how. And I stream 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And so I was like, okay, on my off days, what if I did like a 30-minute stream where it was just focused around being like a podcast, and that was all it was. And then I would just upload the unedited footage onto YouTube. Mm-hmm. And it worked. I liked it, but it didn't get amazing views, and it also wasn't exactly the most engaging content. It wasn't what I wanted to make. Mm-hmm. And so I eventually cut it out. And now I've just been doing this like commentary content instead, which is something that I actually like watching.
Gotcha. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it comes to. So first off and foremost, it comes down to consistency, and I also don't believe views matter, but do it because you enjoy it. I used to be very numbers based. Go ahead.
No, yeah, that's the other thing though. It is something I didn't like love doing, because the thing is, and I understand that. I actually fully agree with the philosophy that numbers are an extremely unhealthy thing about being a content creator, which sucks because as a content creator, you kind of exist to create numbers. So it sucks because you don't want to look at that. You don't want that to be your whole existence. Yeah. And I've kind of created this healthy median where like the numbers reflect what I know I should be doing, while also making sure that what I'm doing is fun. Like if I make a video and it does bad, okay, that topic isn't good, but I talked about things I liked and I liked making it. So I'll use that style with a topic that works and people want to hear. Like I tried doing movie reviews a little while ago, kind of like how Critical does the Moist Meter.
Yeah.
And it was all right and I liked it, but it was probably one of my lowest performing content. And so I'm like, okay, let me do something different. And so recently, when the new FNAF movie got announced, I did a trailer review, and that did a lot better. So like, I'm taking what a format and editing it into a way that people would want to watch. And
Mhm.
like I use the numbers as a way to reference without it being like controlling my every aspect.
But I look at it like this, man. Like, at the end of the day, your videos should be based on what you enjoy, right? Like, back then when I used to stream, my streams were very heavily based about what I enjoy. And you don't come to my streams to watch whatever game I'm playing. You come to watch me do whatever stupid thing. So I know that you're not familiar, but so some of the stupid things I've done is I've done a stream where I've dabbed like that a million times. I've blown up
That's
a watermelon in my living room.
That's awesome.
I've done a 24-hour stream. That's pretty tame. I've done a hot tub stream, literally right here.
I've done one of those. I put a tub in my basement. I put a tub in my basement right here.
Yeah.
And it's a carpeted basement, so that was a mess. But I've also, like, during Halloween, I do a pumpkin carving stream every year.
Uh-huh.
That's a whole story on its own. I could go off on a tangent about that because what happened was, so I am friends with a Discord server called the Obama server. Have you ever heard of it?
I have not.
So it's discord.gg/Obama. It has 200,000 members in it.
It's Obama in it.
It is a channel. No typing. It's an image of Obama. That's all it is. That's the whole server.
Oh, okay.
It's literally just an image of Obama. You can't type or anything. And there is a secret channel. If you boost the server, you can get a text channel. That's it. And I boosted. And I slowly became friends with the owner. And on the Halloween stream, they added everyone on the server and told them to come. And I jumped up to 1,000 viewers, and I carved Obama's face in a pumpkin.
Oh my God! You see, man, cool. It's all about the connections. It's all about the connections and the people that you know.
I want to do that again, so bad.
I don't know about you. I don't know if you still do this, but back when I first got into streaming, I would definitely go around and I would watch other people's channels and I wouldn't even say anything. Kind of like what I did with you. Obviously, I know I mentioned the podcast, but back when I was like actively streaming and like I was having a growing fan base, I would just go, let's say I would go to your stream and I would just say, hey, what's up, man? How's the stream going so far? Like, I would just be chill. You would never even know that I streamed unless you clicked on my channel, unless you clicked on my name and checked. Because I didn't give a shit about that.
That's smart. That is really smart.
Because it's not about, like, don't go, like, I would not go to your channel right now and be like, yo, come check out my stream. Fuck this guy. Like, that's a dick move, you know?
I've had someone do that to me before. I've actually had a few people do that when I played SL. It was cringe.
Oy.
I try to be nice, though. I'm always like people, like, I try to be, like, the lesson for them. Like, if someone comes in and does that, I like to say, like, hey, I'll be chill with you, but just know that streamers, if you do that to them, they are most likely going to ban you. And most people are probably going to bully you instead. And hopefully they take my advice. If they don't, then they'll figure out on their own. But
you see, bro, I took the approach of, like, if someone came to my stream and actually did that, like, I would have people say, like, you know, I'm pretty sure you've gotten this, where people come in and like, oh, yo, can you listen to my music that I just made? Like, can you give it a listen? And
that happened to me. A bad thing happened to me with that.
I would have my mod, like, click on the link and make sure that's safe. Then, all right, cool. I'll click on it, open it up. I'm like, yo, damn, this shit is trash. Fuck yeah, bro. This shit doesn't slap at all.
Oh my God. I would never be able to do that. I'm way too, like, self-conscious about being nice.
Everyone point and laugh at this guy. Holy shit. This shit does not slap, bro.
I made a mistake with that. Literally, like maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, someone sent me a song and I clicked on it and it was just a picture of like an Animal Crossing character.
Yeah.
And it was some really cute beat. And so I full screened it and was playing it and it immediately cut to porn.
Oh.
I was only about 20 minutes into stream, so I ended stream, deleted that part of the VOD, went live again, and just finished my time. Easy. Not a problem. Because literally, if you just delete the VOD, they can't report it. You don't get in trouble.
Was it good porn?
It was gay black men. You know, the usual.
Was it
not
good?
Exactly. Not my cup of tea, but you know what? If someone did like that, I feel like they'd enjoy.
It would have been funnier if you said, not my cup of coffee.
Yeah, no, I need a little more, like...
You don't have...
I need a little more cream, but I don't really like gay porn, period.
You don't have your mods check your chat, though?
Like, I do, usually. That was, like, my one time I didn't. One time I was like, I'll just do this. And then it was just the one time it was porn. Usually it's not. Like, most of the time it isn't. So I was like, here we go. I'll trust this. No.
Never trust random people on the internet, bro.
Yeah.
I would tell you, like, if I pop into your chat, like, yeah, cool, we're talking right now, like, we're doing a podcast, but you never, I'm not saying I will, but you never know if I pop into your stream and I'm like, yo, click on this link, check it out. Oh, look at the podcast. Then it's just straight up porn, bro. Like, you don't.
It's just like it starts off as your podcast, and then you're like it just cuts to it halfway through.
Oh my God, that would be horrible. Holy fuck. That's how you lose all credibility right there.
That is, yes.
Oh, God. So are you ever going to start up a podcast again, or what's going to happen there?
I've considered it because it does kind of sound fun.
Mm-hmm.
Although right now my main focus being the daily videos, it's kind of hard to add anything else to my roster.
Mm-hmm.
If I ever find a more streamlined way to make the videos, I don't really want an editor though, because I really like editing. So it would have to be something that I would incorporate into streaming, probably, if I ever did it. Which maybe, who knows?
Have someone edit your podcast, because the podcast, it's not that it's hard to edit or there needs to be a particular way to edit a podcast. It's just tedious. That's all it is.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get that.
So, I mean, where would you even begin with a podcast? Like, how do you feel like you'd have enough like guests to bring on?
I'd say so. I have a lot of connections with some streamers that used to be partners with the game, the SCP game that I played.
Uh-huh.
I have a few of them, and then once I get connected with them, I'd be able to build off of them, because like they have, like I have a friend named Mew. She was with SL, and she has a lot of friends who are VTubers, so I'd be able to dig down that rabbit hole. I have friends like a guy named A Ripe Banana. He is a YouTuber who has other friends who are YouTubers, and I can dig down that rabbit hole. Like I feel like I have different directions I could go in. I mean, hell, I could talk to the owner of the Obama server and the Dwayne server. That's the same thing, but with Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Wait,
he's funny.
Wait.
Same concept.
Same concept. Same kind of server idea. It's just a photo of Dwayne The Rock Johnson instead of Obama.
Also 200,000 members. There's also a Biden one, but that has less. It has like 100 grand. It's crazy. I don't understand. I genuinely don't understand. I actually have a folder on my computer of just those servers, and I call it the gimmicks. There's actually a second Dwayne server owned by the same guy called Dwayne Emotes, and it's just the same thing but full of emotes.
Wait. So there's no image? It's just emotes?
Well, the image is there. It's more emojis. So like if you have Nitro, you can use that as like a place where you can get good emotes from.
What the fuck are these Discords?
I don't know. I found them accidentally one day, and like the owner of those servers are in my server.
Huh.
It's very funny.
So how do you find time for everything? Like, do you still feel like you have like a good like balance between work, your normal life outside of like the internet, and like actually doing like the videos and Twitch streaming and all that?
I'd say there's a balance, but the balance is very busy. Like I say all of it fits into my schedule, but it doesn't allow much time for me to decompress. Like I go from working to school to streaming to having to edit a video, and still have time to meet up with people in real life. And I pull it all off, but it is stressful. Like it is still stressful that I do fit it all in.
Well, you're on a tight schedule, it sounds like.
Yeah, essentially. That's really
what time do you go to bed?
Like around midnight, maybe towards 1. That's the problem. I need to like manage to get, because I wake up at like 9. So I get 8 hours of sleep. Wake up at 9 a.m.
Yeah, but still, I mean, go to bed a little bit earlier, wake up a little bit earlier, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I actually, last night I went to bed around midnight, woke up at 8. So like I'm working on it. I'm trying to improve. Doing so much better. I'm working on improving.
Gotcha. Something that you mentioned earlier, you mentioned about lacrosse. So do you still do lacrosse or?
Not now, no. When I was younger, my parents had me do every sport under the sun. I did 6 years of soccer, 3 years of basketball, 5 years of baseball, 7 years of lacrosse, 3 years of swimming. There's probably others I can't remember right now, but I had to do a bunch of sports as a kid. My family just wanted me to be well-rounded, and I feel like it made me into a good person. Like, I don't exactly do sports now. I do bike riding. I love bike riding. That's like my main thing.
Like competitive bike riding? Riding?
That one. So in my high school started a club, and I helped turn it into a team. And now there is a statewide sport for biking where we race. Oh, and shit. I'm not in high school anymore, but I'm a coach for the team now.
Oh,
so
shit.
It's like, yeah. So it's really cool because it allows like there are kids who wouldn't do those sports otherwise. Like they wouldn't get into sports, but bike riding allows you to get a team dynamic without having to do something like football.
Yeah.
And it allows for a lot of people who would have never gotten into sports otherwise to be able to do something with a team environment, which is super, super good.
So do you prefer team sports or like it sounds like you prefer team sports.
I do. I really like team sports. I like working with people. Like back when I played lacrosse, I was I was a defender, and I was best friends with all the other defenders. And we would have like dynamics and call outs for how we'd play together, and we were good. Like it was fun. Like My friend used to jokingly call me Usain Bolt because when I would get the ball on the defense side, I would get it and I would sprint from that side of the field all the way to the other side and score a goal as a defender. And no one would catch. I would just be really, really goddamn fast. And it wasn't even something I like knew. Like, it wasn't like I have a certain speed. It was just like, if there are people chasing me, I want to be faster than they are. And it would work out. Yeah.
So you worked on like your explosiveness, essentially, like to get faster. Gotcha.
And like I haven't done sports in a while, so I'm not exactly like probably as fast as I was, but I could definitely still be faster than like other people around me if I needed to be.
Well,
I got scared.
Not to flex, man, you know, obviously since I've lost a lot of weight, but, you know, I used to do a little bit of boxing, you know, so theoretically, if we did have an arm wrestling match, I would lose. But then if I did say, hey, I'm going to punch you in the face, it might hurt you.
It might hurt. It would hurt. Yeah.
It would hurt. Which, something I want to start out the podcast with, you actually do look like a boxer. And I don't mean like you have the build of a boxer. You look like an actual guy that boxes. Like I have a photo of a guy.
I almost did wrestling because it's a really big sport at my high school, but I didn't do it. Mm-hmm. And like the thing is, I have always had like the same build. Like I've always had a very like you can't really tell from my shirt because I was also sitting crisscross applesauce. But like I've always had a very tiny tight build for no reason. Like I don't work out. I don't go to the gym.
How tall are you?
Just like 5'6" and a half. Not
That's why you're built like that, bro. Dudes that are like under 5'7" are built like buff men. Dudes that stand at like 5'11" and above are just like
built like Young Gravy. like a trunk of an elephant.
If I take off my shirt, I literally look like Blueface.
That's so real.
Oh, this
darkened.
Is this you?
Is this me? Yeah, it's literally me.
Wait. There we go.
That is literally me.
That
actually
is you.
Uncannily has a very close look to me. That is scary.
There's another guy. If you shave the beard and just keep the mustache,
I did that a while ago. I've done every variation I could with my facial hair. I've cut my beard off and kept the mustache. I've had my beard go all the way back instead of just being a goatee. I've had nothing because, you know, I couldn't grow it out at first. But I've always tried to have different things with my look to kind of keep things like. Also, it used to be longer, and I'm right now in like a really short beard phase. I want to make it shorter. Actually, it's kind of like scruffy right now.
Would you ever shave the head?
Shave my head? I don't know. I really like my hair. My hair is like one of my favorite things. Like everyone always really likes my curly hair, and I like it. I'd make it shorter. It definitely is too long right now.
Well, of course, the women are going to eat that up. I don't know if you have a girlfriend, but women are, of course, going to eat that up where, like, they see the curls, they're going to be like, damn, he knows how to take care of himself.
I get many compliments from it. Like, while at work, we'll run to Italian families, and they'll always be like, oh, my God, I love your hair. And I'll be like, thanks. I'll, like, push my fingers together and be like this.
Thank you.
Do the pointer fingers for the audio listeners. You do it with the emojis if you'd like.
People know exactly what you're talking about. So I want to see if you're open to talking about something. Because obviously I have a good amount of experience with it, but your actual not your ad revenue, but just how much you've made off of streaming. Because I think people get this weird misconception that either if you're a small influencer, you make nothing, or if you're a big influencer, you make infinite amount of money.
Yeah.
Or do you feel comfortable talking about how much you make today, or?
Yeah,
it's up to
I'm
you.
Fine with that.
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I always like it fluctuates. It does fluctuate because I mean Twitch is very much based on donations. Like on YouTube, it's a lot more static because it's just based off your views. Like I have been monetized on YouTube for 3 months now. I got monetized and then immediately started making daily videos. That was like what inspired me. I'm like, I can do this now. And first month I made like $20. Now I average around $45 a month, which is great. On Twitch, however, it's insane. It's fucking massive. Like I have made on Twitch, like 2 months ago, I made $1,500 on Twitch in a month. Mainly due to that Brazilian fella, Love Comluke. I love him so much. He helps me so much with like he donates and supports the channel a ton. But overall, in my entire career, I made a PayPal account just to hold my money for Twitch specifically. Yeah. And it has, right now, it's almost at $10,000. But I've spent a lot of it. So it's probably made around 15. in 3 years of content creation, being a small creator. That is huge.
That's
And
really
it's meant a
damn
lot
good.
to me, especially since my college debt. I think I have like 15 grand in debt right now. I could hypothetically, if I keep going, possibly pay off my debt with Twitch,
I mean, yeah.
which would be really nice.
That's awesome, man.
It is.
That's actually really cool.
It's insane, and I'm so happy for it. Like, I've used money from my content creation to upgrade my setup. This microphone is like this microphone and the Focusrite audio thing that goes into
the
it.
mixer, yeah, the input.
Yeah, it is like $300 altogether. It's a pretty expensive mic. And then like I've gotten a new more RAM for my computer. I've upgraded my computer. Like this computer I have, you can like look at it. It's the same computer I had when I started. Look at all my notes.
Oh shit.
And it's the same computer I had when I first got a computer. And all I've done is just built more into it. I just took it apart and put more on it, which because I got a pre-built. I didn't know anything about computers when I got one. And I just slowly added to it and made it into this amalgamation, this mutant that it is today.
That's fucking awesome. No, that's actually
money.
Yeah, that's really fucking cool, man. So on average you pull about $45 on Twitch on YouTube, my bad. On YouTube every single month right now. Obviously at the rate that you're going. And on Twitch you average, you said on a good month you pulled 1.1?
I'd say average around 600 to 800. I would say that. And that's like with subs and donations. I would be more if Twitch actually did their goddamn sub share that they used to do, but you know, we're here with the 50-50. But yeah.
So what about when it was the 70-30 originally?
I didn't look at my money that much back then. And also I was a lot smaller, so I wasn't making the same. But
well,
like,
thing is, I'm a lot smaller than you. I don't know if it's just because I don't know what your approach is to subs and to get people to subscribe and donate. I take a very different approach. What's your approach on that, if you don't mind me asking?
I actually just have the most standoff way of doing it possible. I create a community that's very dedicated on just being connected with each other, and I create a very loyal community in that process, and so they end up subbing due to that support. I don't really sit there and remind people to sub. I'll occasionally be like, if you have a Prime, you can use it, but that's like once or twice every week.
Don't you have a sub counter? Rare.
I have a little goal, but it's a joke goal. It's like add 69 more subs, lol. Like it's funny number. Like it's just it's not at all an incentive that I judge people. Like I add people. I've done sponsorships. That's also helped with money. I got a Raid Shadow Legends sponsorship.
Get out of here.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I did it, and I did it goddamn well. I did a Raid Shadow Legends stream, and I did it goddamn well. I did a War Thunder stream too for a sponsor, and it went terribly.
Oh my god. Holy shit. How
much,
if you don't mind me asking, how much did you make from those?
The War Thunder, very little, because I didn't get anyone to download it because no one wanted to play it.
Oh, they didn't pay you unless you got like someone clicked on your link?
There was an incentive, yeah.
I mean, normally they pay you like a flat rate, and then like if you get click-throughs, they'll go ahead and like maybe give you like a few bucks extra from that.
I think it's because I did it through Stream Elements, so it was like weirdly set up. Because like Raid was also based on incentive.
Do you do everything through Stream Elements?
That's what I've done recently. I've had people reach out to me, but a lot of them were things that I didn't think I'd want to do. Like some of them were like State of Decay, like mobile ad, and I'm like, how would I stream this? And so I haven't really gone through with it. But like Raid, I did Raid, and I actually got 30 people to download it, and I made $800 off that. And that was when I was really small. I was a small content creator at that time, but I had a loyal audience.
Good shit, man. Good shit.
It was really nice. It was cool. And if I made 800 off of 30 people downloading it, imagine what like PewDiePie would make. Like holy shit.
Yeah, but I mean that's why he has NordVPN.
Yeah. I actually have a NordVPN code as well. I just never used it. I never promoted it.
Oh shit.
And I actually opened it up on stream and it had my IP on the screen.
Oh no. Like your actual legitimate IP?
Yes.
Oh yeah. My god.
So I had to go through and like
Did you call up your internet provider and like request for a new IP address?
I didn't. Okay, so what I did was here's what I did even crazier than that. I essentially utilized my psychology knowledge. When the IP was on the screen, I said nothing. I didn't say anything. I just tabbed back out. And I waited until the VOD was gone, because after a month, Twitch gets rid of VODs. No one knew. I was like, guys, I want to let you know, a month ago, I showed my IP on stream. They're like, what do you mean? None of them recognized. Not a soul looked.
That is fucking ballsy that you even mentioned that a month later. Are you sure like it's not out there at all?
VOD's gone. I deleted it actually. I
Okay.
waited like a week because I wanted the content to be like available, but like I deleted the VOD. Actually, no, I deleted the VOD after that stream.
I was gonna say, like, I wouldn't leave that up like a week after being like,
yeah, no, I was thinking about it,
one's
like, wait a
gonna
minute,
see
if I left it
this.
up, that would be stupid. Yeah, no, I deleted the VOD after that stream, and not a soul knew. They were like, what do you mean? And now we reference it. Like, we referenced, yesterday I was playing, and I was playing with my friend Tony, who's also a streamer, and Tony's like, Sav, my chat's telling me that you've doxed yourself 3 times. I'm like, yes, and they never knew. Not a soul knows where I am. I'm a stealth master. The only person who knows where I am is a guy in my community who knows how to dox people. And so he just knows my address, but he's also like really nice. It's like the chillest dude I've ever met.
Fair.
But he also just could dox me if he.
Well, to some people, it's just kind of like a fun little game.
Yeah, like there's some people who are slowly figuring out where I work, and I'm like, whatever. It's not close enough to where I live for it to be a problem.
Do you want me to go ahead after this podcast? Do you want me to send you your address and your social security number?
Maybe not my social security number. I don't know if I want that. I
all
already
right.
know it. I already know it. Thank you. I don't need to.
So I sent out a previous podcast episode, and for legal reasons, this is a joke, all right? But so back when I used to work at an insurance company called Farmers Insurance. I'm not sure if you ever heard of them or if you know anything about insurance.
Is that not the "We Are Farmers"? Bum ba dum bum 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 bum.
Exactly. We
Hell
are
yeah.
farmers. Bum ba dum bum 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 bum. Those people.
Love that.
So there was a subsidiary company called Bristol West, and basically, if I couldn't write you an auto insurance policy through Farmers Insurance, I would have to go through Bristol West. So if I start all your information in Farmers and then transfer it over, right up on the screen, it just shows your social security number in full.
That's crazy.
So
I love security.
Well, that's why I like try to tell people, like, it's so easy to actually get information to all this stuff. It is a lot easier than you think. I'm not actually going to DM you your social. I'm fucking with you. I'm not actually going to do that.
That's something that I always like talk about. Like, people are like, I don't want to use TikTok. It has all my information. I'm like, everyone has your information, dude. Like, I don't care. What I always say is, I don't give a shit that China gets my information. They can sub to me on YouTube while they're at it. Like, I don't care. Everyone else has it. Like, it's not hard.
God damn, man. You're willing to give all that over to China?
No, I mean, what are they getting from TikTok? Like, they probably are getting stuff, but like everyone uses TikTok. So like, I'm like a sea of IPs.
TikTok is different here compared to in China. Did you know that?
I did know that. I knew that it's a lot more brain rotted here.
Yes. That's why I don't use TikTok. I don't use TikTok.
Yeah. I used it for a while, and it was fun, but I actually used it until I got bored of it. And now I just don't use it. I replaced my TikTok usage with things like Twitter, which isn't much better. But what I do is I use it in a good way. Don't look at me like that. I use it in a good way. Because what I do is I use it to find information for my videos. So it's useful. I use things like I follow Dexerto. You're looking at me like I'm crazy or something. There are news sources that utilize it. Because the thing is, yes, there's a lot of misinformation on that site. It's terrible. It's real bad. Look at Elon Musk. He's actually a walking nematode. But at the same time, if you go on there, there's a lot of news sources that all post their articles on Twitter so that they can get traction. And so I use that to find the news articles. It's not like I'm going to Twitter for news. I'm going to Twitter to find the news so I can go off the site.
Fair.
And not
fair.
on it anymore.
I don't actually, so I have a Twitter account, but I don't actually use my Twitter. Like, it's literally just like my name, and then it's just, I don't post anything. I just literally use Twitter. I was gonna ask you about that. I mainly only use Twitter though for like the Dylan Dennis stuff. I'm not sure if you know about like.
Oh my god, I made a video on it because it's so annoying. It wouldn't get off my goddamn feed. It wouldn't get off my goddamn feed, and so I was like, I'm gonna make a video about it. Of course I am. I don't even care about Logan Paul and Dylan Dennis, but here I am talking about it.
How do you feel about all that? Like, first off, how do you feel about influencer boxing? If you were to blow up enough and they reach out to you, would you fight on a YouTube boxing card? And then how do you feel about the Dylan Dennis situation?
I would do it purely because it would give me a reason to work out and get stronger. Like, I wouldn't do it for Happy Punch. Happy Punch is Keemstar's company. I don't give a shit about Keemstar. He's kind of annoying as shit. But, like, I would love to do it for something like Ludwig. Ludwig did chess boxing. That looked so cool. I would definitely do that. Because also, none of it was maliceful. No one was posting each other's fiancés online. It was all
that's just Dylan Dennis. A lot of the YouTube boxing is actually just like, it's fake trash talk. Like, I could be like let's say me and you are going to fight on, Misfits, right?
Yeah, yeah, I know
So,
Misfits. Yeah, that's
like,
the one.
let's say, like, all right, cool. After this podcast episode, like, I'll leak our DMs and being like, yo, Sav, this podcast was fucking horrendous. Fuck you. You're a horrible guy. And then, like, you'll leak part of our DMs where, like, I'm talking about, like, oh, I hate women or something. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, we'll make it, like, even more, like, it's the fake beef is what I'm saying. And then, like,
You know
cool.
what?
Go ahead.
Oh, you know what this beef is?
What?
It's literally modern day WWE.
Yeah.
It's like lore. There's
Yeah.
lore, and most of it's probably not real. I mean, the whole thing with his fiance, I think, is so goofy because literally none of that's against Logan. Literally, we're just slut shaming a woman online. Like, that's all it is. Like, Logan is like, I have a feeling Logan isn't even on Twitter anymore. He probably doesn't give a shit. He's probably like, this is goofy. Because why would he? 'Cause everyone on Twitter hates him. Like,
No, he's on Twitter. He turned off his comments. Did you see that?
I didn't see that. Interesting.
He turned off his comments for like the last month, essentially, when Dylan started doing this, posting his fiance.
Interesting. See,
Yeah.
I don't like Logan. I think he's kind of a bad human being.
I hate him.
But at the same time, Dylan annoys me more because of how much he posts. I think he posts so much that it's kind of annoying.
I disagree because Dylan is meant to be the bad guy, right? That's just the truth.
Okay,
Some
that makes
people
sense.
Try
Well,
to
he does
be
it
the bad
well
guy.
then. He does
But-
it well then because he I see him as the bad guy.
But Logan Paul, he's had beef with his brother, beef with his, he's had beef with KSI, the guy that he fought previously. Now they started a
Yeah.
company. And remember, like, he's having so many issues with his brother. Well, what's going on? Remember, he started a business with his with Jake Paul's
CryptoZoo.
next opponent. The whole entire CryptoZoo thing. He partnered with the UFC, and I'm not sure if you're aware, Jake Paul hates Dana White, who owns the UFC.
I actually didn't know about that lore. Interesting.
And then, did you hear about the Gideon thing? You know about Gideon?
Yeah, I know about JD and stuff. Yeah.
So, like, all right. So for everyone, so Gideon is basically a what would you call him? A prankster YouTube channel?
I'd say he's like a troll YouTube channel. Yeah, he just does goofy things reviews.
Yeah, he goes around to people and he'll say like stupid shit, like, "Hey, yo, can you hold my fish?" type of thing. Like that's the kind of shit that he's on. So, Logan and him had some beef recently, and Logan Paul called him two-faced, and I'm just like, bro. Logan Paul, like I said, CryptoZoo owes 1.6 million to, like, what is it, 7 people or some shit like that?
Not even. I think it's a few more than that because he scammed a lot of people. Like a lot of people got scammed.
Yeah.
And the thing is, what made me laugh so much, and this was in my video about the whole Dylan Dana situation, was like, Logan was like, Dylan, I'll put $1 million on this fight, and I was like, Logan, I know someone who would like $1 million. You're scam victims. You nematode, you hemoglobin, like what is happening?
You watched the press conference, right?
Yeah, I heard about that. I heard about all that.
Logan Paul said, because he made a bet with McGregor, he was like, how come your boy hasn't responded to my $1 million bet that if you beat me, I'll give him $1 million? And Dylan responded back, Logan, shut the fuck up about that. When are you going to pay everyone back for the CryptoZoo scams? What the fuck? And he said, I'm working on it, Dylan. Bro, what the fuck? Imagine, bro. Imagine, man. Because he makes bread.
Oh, yeah, no, he does. The thing is, okay, I think the only justification for why he hasn't paid people back yet, and this is not me justifying it, because Logan should pay them back. Like, it's not that hard. Yeah. The only thing that makes it hard is he did it via NFTs, and NFTs change in value. So what they could have bought the NFT for versus what it was when the place crashed is much different in value. But still, pay them back what they paid. Like, just give them back the money they gave you.
Bro,
that's all.
He becomes so much of a better person if he just shuts the fuck up and says, here's 1.6.
Yeah, because he definitely makes that.
1.6
I saw the amount of money.
1.6 to him is like $20 to us.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so goofy. I feel like, but the other thing is like, him and Dylan Danis's beef has just made me not like either of them. They talk so goddamn much. But I can understand Dylan's whole ideology or like goal is to be the bad guy, so it makes sense. And then poor Logan's fiance isn't even like fighting in this, but I swear to God, she's taken more slack than Logan has.
Outside of Dylan Danis actually calling her a slut though, because he originally didn't actually say that on Twitter. Originally what he did, how he started off, was he just posted photos of Nina, Logan Paul's fiance, with other men. Like he didn't Photoshop anything.
Like LeBron and like Leonardo DiCaprio. Like
Which that's all public
names.
information. So in theory, is that wrong of Dylan Danis to do? Is he necessarily a bad guy for doing that? He didn't put any caption, nothing. He just
he's not really a
posted
bad
photos.
guy. I think he was just instigating. Like that's all it is. And I think that it wasn't that bad at first. I think what happened was when I started seeing Keemstar post about it twice a day for like weeks on end, I was like, my God. Drama alert needs to cover something else. News is slow, to be fair. Being someone who covers the news is slow as shit right now. You know it's slow when Dexerto, like one of the biggest news sources on Twitter for gaming and information and stuff, is posting about like screenshots of like an art style in a game being like, wouldn't it be cool if this was a Pokemon game? What do you mean, wouldn't it be cool? That's not news at all. You just posted as if you're like Kira. Like you're just posting like opinion pieces. Like what is that?
Listen, bro, it's a news for today. Wouldn't it be cool? We might be hinting at something. We might be hinting at some insider information, maybe.
It'd be kind of cool if this like Play-Doh style was a Pokemon game. But anyways, nothing's going on. Please help us. And literally nothing is going on. Like the writer strike stuff was literally all I could find to make a video on today. And I was gonna make the other thing that I was gonna make it on would be September, because Twitch is doing a weird September where it's like much less off than what it usually is. Because usually for September, subs are half off. And it would instigate subbing more, right?
Okay.
And this time, subs are 25% off. 3 month subs are 25% off, and 6 month subs are 30% off. And it feels weird. And I was like, this is bad. But then I looked back, and 2021, 2022, and 2019 all did the same thing. So I guess I can't really complain. It's just that like 2018 and moving back from that, they were bigger discounts. But in the past 3-4 years, it's been the same thing. So it's not really worth making a video being like, Twitch doing bad. It's been doing bad.
I'm calling it right now. Twitch, because it looks like it's going on a downhill slope, and it looks like the people that own Twitch do not give a shit. So I'm calling it that I think that Twitch may still be around, but I think no one will be using it, essentially. I think it'll be dead, essentially, by 2026, to be quite honest.
That's an interesting prediction. The only issue is like the alternatives are so like they don't add up. Like there's things like Kick. Kick is an alternative to Twitch.
That's owned by Stake, though.
It's owned by Stake. One of its poster boys is Aiden Ross, which is going to scare off a majority of the LGBT audience. Like literally Sapnap, one of Dream's friends, went to Kick, got so much slack for it. And Aiden Ross's response was to blame the LGBT instead of like, I don't know, apologizing for being so homophobic. Like, you would fix it. You're showing us why they're not coming. And it's so goofy. And like I don't even care what someone's take is on that stuff. If you make it evident that you hate a certain type of person, they're not going to come. It's not going to make them change how they think. It's not going to make them change at all, especially since that's a whole different argument. But like it's not going to, and then it makes Kick look like a bad site in return. Like yeah, Kick makes an amazing money I don't know, I worded that incorrectly, but Kick does great things for paying its creators. A 95-5 split is huge.
That's fucking massive.
It's crazy that they're paying creators so much more, and yet they're stunted by the pure fact that their ideologies are that aggressive and hostile. It's like going to the goddamn wastelands in Fallout. Like, I'm not going to walk there. Yeah, it probably has some better loot, but it also would give me cancer. I don't want cancer. Like...
But if you want things to change, like if you feel like Kick is a very LGBT negative place, why wouldn't there be more LGBT creators on there? Because that would incentivize change.
Oh, of course. And that's a thing. That's a big thing. Like that's why I believe that's my theory for why they got Sapnap. I think the reason they brought Sapnap was because the Dream SMP's audience is very known for being pretty gay. Like that's just a pretty well-known thing.
Yeah, this community really fucking gay. Gay as shit.
In the best, most positive way possible. They're a pretty gay audience, and I love that.
Yeah.
And so I think they brought Sapnap over with the intent of doing that, but the problem is I think the audience itself doesn't want to go over there. It's not the streamers. Like the streamers could go over there, but they're scared because their audience won't follow. And if their audience doesn't follow, that's their existence. That is what they are on that site. So it would kind of kill them. Because then imagine going from having a pretty heavily LGBT audience to going to Kick and having people who are yelling like, ew, you're Jewish, which is a lot of Aiden Ross's chat. I've gone on Aiden Ross's chat and watched it before. It's literally full of slurs. Still. Like they haven't fixed that yet. It's
like
so
when
weird.
you say slurs, are we talking about like hard R?
There on occasion.
I'm not talking about Linus Tech Tips hard R. I'm talking about
no. On occasion there is hard R, but a lot of it is just like anti-Semitic and anti-gay and anti-trans and all that. It's just very hateful. And the thing is, none of it is related to what Aiden Ross is doing. He could be walking down the street and talking to people on the street, and his chat is just a wall of anti-Semitic stuff. Like, what are they doing? Like where are they getting the inspiration to type these things? And of course, it scares off creators because their audience isn't going to follow them, and that's the kick downfall.
But I feel like it's your job. Obviously, I'm not gonna say me because I don't stream anymore. But I guess you could say it's not your job, but it's the job of that community that wants to grab those kind of people, the LGBT community, and to actually try to build that at Kick, because you're not gonna build it just by saying I want it to be there. You have to actually work on it. You have to try. You have to grind. And with Kick, it's a growing platform. So you're going to grow naturally. And obviously, you're going to pick up some stragglers along the way that don't support LGBT. But
it happens.
If you go ahead and constantly try to push for it, trying to say, hey, I'm an LGBT supportive streamer, I guarantee you're going to start to see slowly but surely people making their way over to Kick. And then you're going to see other streamers doing that, which is then only going to help you grow even more.
Totally. No, that's a totally big thing. And I think the problem is no one's tried to push the domino over yet. And I feel like what Kick has done is it's scared a lot of people into pushing that domino over. And I actually have a graph up that I've been following a lot lately that is the percentage of the English-speaking audience that watches both Kick and Twitch. Twitch currently holds 91% of English-speaking audience, while Kick holds 9%. And that has been a constant for the past few weeks. I've been watching it because Kick actually made this site because they're like, we finally hit 10% of all English speakers, but it's been going down. Like, it's because the thing is, Kick blew up because of controversy. It got big because of Aiden Ross. It got big because of like it hating on Hassan and hating.
And like, someone streamed the
football game.
Yeah, the football game.
That was Aiden Ross again. He was probably most of the controversy. And then like the other alternative is Rumble, which is just like. Literally, the people who stream on Rumble are, if you go there, it's Andrew Tate, Sneeko, Donald Trump. Like, that is the majority of the audience there.
Wait, pause. Donald Trump
videos. Videos of Trump, not streams.
Okay. I was about to say, bro, I just imagine him just propped up at a computer.
Playing Minecraft.
Playing Minecraft with
TikTok AI videos.
He's playing with Joe Biden. Joe, you fucking stupid idiot. Go get the goddamn dirt blocks.
That's so great. But you know what else is becoming slowly another content space for that audience is Twitter, or X, I guess. One of the big people, Tucker Carlson, after getting fired from Fox, he started his own news series on Twitter, and it pulls around like 10 million views and upload on Twitter, which is crazy. But then again, he's one of the only people uploading videos to Twitter.
Fair.
So it makes it harder. Because who has the incentive to upload to Twitter? You get a lot more money. It's kind of weird because you get money based on view instead of based on like ad watching, because it's just based off like the amount of money Twitter gets. They don't really need to count how many views you get. They just add up per amount of money per view, and they just send you that. Like, there are creators who make like maybe 300,000 views per post, getting around like $15,000 a month. It's insane the amount of money they're making, and it's just it's a great place for money, but it's also Elon Musk's website. So,
but you got suspended from Twitter.
I did. I got suspended from Twitter for the dummest reason. I hate Elon so much.
For posting Logan Paul's fiance.
No, then Dylan be dead. I posted, so there was a scam YouTube bot. They're so common. They're all over the place. Where they'll be like, I can get your account unbanned. DM blank on Instagram, and it's usually like Views King or something. It's some like scam account. If you ever get those, do not accept those ever. And I responded with, no thanks, actually probably eat rocks and die. And I got banned for death threats to a scam bot. It was so awesome. I was so happy. And I've sent 4 appeals. They've not just not responded, they've aired me. They didn't just say no, they've just not responded at all, period.
How long has this been?
About like maybe a month and a half now.
But that's also another thing, bro. It sucks being a smaller creator, because if you don't have like a dedicated giant fan base, you're gonna
stuck.
You're gonna go on hell. Like, imagine how many like probably great like small creators have just stopped because their shit got like shadow banned or actually banned or whatever thing that happened, whether it was on YouTube, Twitch, whatever.
That's what pisses me off so much, because the thing is, I can no longer, like, if you make a new account, you're ban evading. So I can no longer exist as Saverino on Twitter. I cannot exist as my own brand because I could get banned for ban evading. So I can't use the app. All I can use it for is finding news. which means that what I've started doing is resorting to using things like YouTube community tab to post things I find interesting, which isn't as good, but it's something. But it
Yeah.
pisses me off. Like I'm now actively rooting on. Like before, I was like, yeah, Elon sucks, but I also think the app is useful. But I have been actively rooting on Elon's downfall now. Like I don't hate people. I think that even some bad people have redeemable qualities or could be redeemed. Elon, I disagree. I think that he is the worst human alive. I stand by that. I am a complete pacifist and everyone on the earth except Elon. If I met him in real life, I would throw rocks at him.
Okay.
And yeah,
Let's debate this then. I don't think Elon is a bad guy. And I'm gonna challenge you on it. No, I want to actually have like
I'm willing to hear.
proper back and
Yeah.
forth. So Elon, let's look at genuinely what Elon has done. Elon, first off, created an app back in 1999 called X.com. He ended up selling that off, which ended up becoming PayPal. Just like how you do a lot of research, I like to do a lot of research before I hop into these podcasts.
it's funny because I do know some of this, but I want to hear what you say. I want to hear this.
So then I believe, a quick little fun fact for you, because obviously the big elephant in the room is Tesla, right? But we're going to get into that in a sec. The last time there was actually an electric vehicle, I believe was in the year 1984. It was in the 80s or 70s, 80s, 90s, around that. And that actually did horrible. Not because it was a bad vehicle, but because these other giant conglomerate companies such as Ford, Acura, those big brands basically did everything in their power to say, nope, no electric vehicles. And they somehow shit on this company, so no one bought the vehicle. But Elon then partnered with Porsche, I believe it was, back in the year 2006 and created the Tesla Roadster 1, which was a completely electric vehicle, which was a two-seater, was a convertible. I'm not sure if you know which vehicle I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, because I actually do know some of this lore. My dad's a car freak.
Oh, okay. And then obviously, I believe it was in 2010, 2011, 2012. I probably way off with this number, but then they released the Model S, which the Model S was a completely revolutionary car. That was the first step in order to pushing every other company to going electric. Because the thing is, at that time, if you got a Tesla, it was like no other car.
And it was a sign of wealth, too. Like, yeah, I do agree. Tesla and what Elon did with Tesla is a good thing. And I think that Elon, pre-Twitter, was a genuinely good person. He was funny. He was going on PewDiePie's videos. He was on Joe Rogan smoking weed. It was funny as shit. He was the, like, internet meme guy. And everyone loved that. And I think the way that he runs a car company is extremely well. Where Elon tends to fall into the issue category is with the way that he treats, first of all, his own family. He was married to Grimes, I think.
Yes, Grimes.
For a little while. And Grimes identifies as non-binary with they, them pronouns. And Elon didn't really care. But after the divorce, Elon went on the biggest anti-trans tirade anyone's ever gone on. Due to the divorce. He actually has a trans daughter that he is ostracized because of it and no longer speaks to her, which is really, really, I believe her. I don't know.
Are we talking about like the one that's like name has like X and like a bunch of other random characters?
No, that's his son. That's his new son. No, he has 10 kids.
Fuck. God damn.
He has a lot of kids. But that's also because one of his other big pushes is he is super into the concept that the human race is declining, which is one of those super red, like,
no, but okay, all right. But hear me out, right? Let's look at why he even went electric, why he created an electric company. Because at the end of the day, he personally believes that obviously gas-powered vehicles are killing the planet. You can argue with that, you can agree to that.
Well, no, totally, yeah.
But then what was the next company that he did? Next big name notable company, SpaceX, right?
Yeah.
If you listen to his interviews with SpaceX, his whole entire reason is it's not because, he wants rich people to get to Mars. He wants everybody to be able to get to whatever
colonize.
Exactly. Totally. So, and then after that, he ended up taking over. He ended up buying out Twitter. Now, I can definitely see where you're where you feel like his approach was completely wrong. Like, he's a dickhead, he's a piece of shit. The whole entire thing about the trans. But regarding the trans stuff, right? First off, that's his opinion. At the end of the day, like, I think like you can call him a bad guy. Like you could say like, he's a piece of shit for hating on his trans daughter, or going on a huge trans
Tangent, rage.
There we go.
Yeah,
there we go. I don't know why I blanked there. I'm not here to argue that. That's if he really did that, and you personally like trans, if I like trans, at the end of the day, yeah, we can go ahead and sit here and say, yo, that's a dick move. That's a shit move.
Yeah, and of course. I do recognize that he has done some good things. And the colonization thing is really awesome. Like, we should try and get off this planet, because it is, we should have multiple spots. I feel like it's kind of nice. Like,
well, do you know what he's trying to do do you know what he's trying to do with X? Like, do you actually know his overall plan is?
He wants to turn it into the everything app, right? He wants to turn it into a YouTube. He wants to turn it into a Twitter. He wants to turn it into a job site. He wants to turn it into a LinkedIn. I know about all that. I do.
It's hard to say I want to throw rocks at the guy when he's done Tesla, when he's done SpaceX. All right, cool. Yeah, it's fucking sucks. Like, I don't look at him anymore as a person. I look at him as this entity that is working on making humanity easier and better. Because realistically, when you look at what he does, to me, having that everything app, it just sounds so beneficial, because at the end of the day, we all like competition. Because then it's going to make YouTube work harder, Facebook work harder, Instagram work harder, Twitch work harder. Because he's saying that, like, you'll be able... Can you currently stream on Twitter? On X?
No, but he plans to add live calling. I think you can stream, but it's kind of, like, weird. It's like TikTok streaming, but not as...
You have the audio, you have the groups, you have that, which, like, you can, listen to people talking and shit.
And the other thing that I think is the problem that Elon tends to run into, and this is the thing, economically and, like, logistically, he does good things with the colonization, with the car company, and working with that. But there's a lot of, the thing is, with his insane levels of influence, I find it kind of counterintuitive that he spreads a lot of ideologies that align with hate. Like he wanted to ban the word pronouns on Twitter or X, which was like, what are you doing? Like, that's just a weird tirade to go on, because he's very influential, and that's a great thing. But if you're influential, use it to spread good ideologies, because he could easily solve so much hate because of the amount of people that ride him so closely, if he were to just be a good person alongside creating all these great things. And then there's also the whole unethical debate about billionaires, but you could argue that he needs all that money to create the things that help humanity. But there's probably billionaires who are a lot more frivolous than he is, because he is kind of in the headlines, so he gets a lot more hate with that. But
I argue this. Doesn't he need to, because he always wants to be in the spotlight, right? So doesn't he need to be controversial? Because at the end of the day, we don't talk about Mark Zuckerberg. Realistically, how often do we mention Mark Zuckerberg? How often do we actually mention him?
That's because everyone hates him.
But he stays quiet. He stays quiet, and no one talks about him. He doesn't say, I hate trans people. Oh, I hate this ethnicity. I hate that person. No, he just stays quiet. He just...
Yeah,
he just drinks his water like a lizard.
He's an amphibian.
And he has his barbecue sauce chilling in the background, If I ever get him on here, I'm going to have some barbecue sauce just chilling in the back.
That's so perfect. But, I totally understand that.
Good.
No, keep going. I didn't realize you were going to keep going.
What I was saying is, to me, I get where you're coming from. I think that sometimes he says this stuff just to poke at people, just to go ahead and get more traction. Because if you know about Elon, if you hear more people talking about Elon, then you're going to hear him talking about X. You're going to hear him talking about Tesla. You're going to hear him talking about SpaceX. He works that in. And the thing is, you can't hate those companies. You could hate X because of what Twitter used to be, but you can't hate Tesla and you can't hate SpaceX. They're doing great things.
Well, yeah. No, that I understand. I think that mainly my philosophy is kind of like, if you grow off of hate, you aren't exactly a good person in that light. Socially, I think he's a bad person, but the things he does are also good. I understand that, though, because growing off of hate is the fastest way to grow. It's just unfortunate that that's what he subscribes to, because he has the power to fix a lot of issues that are currently plaguing humanity, which is all the inner hate. And it seems like the focus on doing those other things are important as well. Mm-hmm. But I feel like it hurts us a lot when we all keep just hating each other so much. And the people in the comments are so uninformed. All of the people in his replies are so uninformed about how people work, and they're so hateful, and he just encourages it. And I don't know. It makes me mad. It makes me sad, because the thing is, he does have the capacity to be a great person, because he is doing great things.
Yeah.
And of course, growing off of controversy is the fastest way to grow, and it sucks.
But if you were in that position, what would you do? If you were Elon Musk, if you woke up and you were Elon Musk tomorrow, how would you go ahead and manage running several billion-dollar companies, maybe even trillion-dollar companies, how would you manage to keep those companies growing as well as trying to do the best thing for humanity?
Well, I think a really important thing is if he kept pushing, like if he pushed the opposite of hate as hard as he pushes all the hate stuff, I feel like it would actually gain traction as well. Because imagine a billionaire considering the smaller man. Like that doesn't happen. And like imagine how revolutionary that would be if he kept doing it often, pushing.
But
it
as you
often.
just said, that's never happened, right?
Well, yeah, exactly. That's the thing, because it's harder. It's a lot harder.
Are you sure that's never happened, or are you sure it's maybe happened and just didn't get as much recognition as you might have thought?
Well, there's things like Bill Gates, who donated billions of dollars to charity, but then the charity ended up being his own charity. So yeah, they've tried.
But that's what well, then also like look at Bill Gates. I think he bought out like all the farms in the U.S. and like that's not. I don't know if you know anything about that. That's not going to be I'm telling you, that's not going to be a good thing.
No, yeah, because at the end of the day, it's also a monopoly. It's going to increase prices. It's not going to add any desire for competition.
Well, then also keep in mind, we're at the leeway of Bill Gates of if he says, okay, cool, we're no longer going to go ahead and do natural meats. I know that sounds extreme, but if he says that, guess what? No more meats.
Yeah, which at the same time, like I understand not liking normal meats, but I like it. Like I feel like you should have the capacity to have that choice. I don't think it should be something where you force one or the other. I don't agree with people who are like, no, we shouldn't have any. But I also I think that the ability to have that choice is kind of important. That's also part of my mentality of like, you only get one chance on this big blue marble in the middle of nowhere, so do it the way you feel comfortable.
But that's why
as long as it doesn't harm others.
But that's why I like Elon, because also then another thing, I don't know how much you know about cars and like everything going on in the electric market. So I was actually looking originally. I actually just got my truck the other day. I got a Ford Maverick, but I was looking at getting a Ford F-150 Lightning, the electric version of the Ford F-150. And the reason why I didn't end up ordering one was because of the charging stations. Because unless it's a Tesla charging station, they are nowhere to be seen. And if you do see one, they're usually broken. So Tesla came out. I'm not sure if you heard about that. Tesla came out and actually said, all right, cool. We're going to open it up to everybody. If you want to use it, cool. Here's the patent. You can go ahead and...
he opened all his patents to the common public.
Yeah.
But the thing is, at the same time, is that Elon's doing or is it the company's doing? Because he's not really focusing all of his efforts into Tesla right now. He's kind of focusing a lot into Twitter.
I would disagree, because he's also talked about how little he actually spends at home. He mostly spends his time at work. And I'm assuming he's not just... all right, cool, I'm just focused on Twitter. I'm assuming he's focused. He's always at those Tesla events. Yeah,
so and at the Valorant event.
I think, okay, so, damn, I don't want to throw this person under the bus. So I actually know someone that works at a company that does major financing for one of these companies, for a bunch of companies, my bad. And she actually has had conference calls with Elon Musk. So she's mentioned to me like how, because she knows that I personally love Elon and what his methodology is with the world and how he wants to go about it. So I talked to her about that. She told me like a little bit about Elon, and she said, no, he's very, very hands-on. Obviously, he's not the one building the trucks or the cars. He's not obviously the one flying up to space, but he makes a lot of the big calls. So I do personally believe that he was probably the one to say, yes, we're going to open up the charging stations to everyone.
I mean, yeah, that could easily be a thing. Because, of course, my concept I said there was all speculation. So I can't really say for sure what he did. And it's probably more likely that he is hands-on. I definitely think at the end of the day, though, I do agree that he tries to do good things and his intentions are good. But the social thing and growing off of controversy is always something I don't really love, which is also the downfall of places like Kick. It's the same thing. Like, yes, you can grow really fast and get a lot of publicity for a lot of things that you want to do good. Like Kick, with its monetary split, it had great intentions. But growing off of controversy added a permanent stain to its record that makes a lot of people leave a bad taste in their mouth when they think of it, which is unfortunate. Because, like, I don't know. I'd be repeating myself if I said that, but I get you, though. Like, I understand, though.
Okay, let me bring up a perfect example when it comes to like YouTubers, right? Let's look at Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast, yes, he is, I guess you could say, the one big person that, does good and he gets recognized for that. But what do more people realistically know, right? Mr. Beast has been doing this for a while, and I don't think at first his videos were blowing up, popping off. He had to do like a lot of the I count to 100,000.
Yeah, he had to do a bunch of challenges like that. Yeah.
So But let's look at someone like PewDiePie. Do you remember the bridge incident?
Yeah, the bridge incident. That is a big thing.
How many people on the internet do you think know about that?
Quite a lot of people, and I do understand that. Although I don't know if the bridge incident is necessarily an instigation for growth for him. One of the big things I think was one of his biggest growth points was the war with T-Series, as well as him being one of the first YouTubers to get into the news. He was one of the first YouTubers to go mainstream. Even old people heard about him, and like CNN and stuff, because he was a trailblazer for that all of that, alongside Markiplier and a little bit of Jacksepticeye. That wasn't really his time period.
Well, I mean, Jacksepticeye didn't really end up blowing up till PewDiePie did that shout out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, it's not really his time period, because while he is considered one of the big three, as like people consider when they think of it, like PewDiePie, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, that's like their trio. But Jacksepticeye is like the little brother for the two of them.
Yeah, yeah. It's just, like I said, man, it's just kind of like, because like also think about like one of PewDiePie's other big eras was when he was in that like little room where he had the walls behind him, like, and it was kind of gray.
Yeah,
and he wore like the little Nazi outfit.
He had a bit of it, actually, surprisingly enough, he went viral for that, saying it was a Nazi outfit. It was actually a British not cavalry, British infantry outfit.
Oh yeah,
but everyone thought it was
I saw
Nazi.
that. I saw that he mentioned that, and it's just, but like, you know how people are going to perceive that.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, they took it the wrong way, which is a lot of it.
Sorry about that. I thought I heard a noise in the background.
I thought I heard something too.
Yeah, but that's what I'm talking about. Like, those were huge moments for PewDiePie, and whether you want to say, you know, it was a real growing moment for him, I guarantee you that got headlines. That made people click and check out PewDiePie.
But then at the same time, he did take a 180 with his content after making those mistakes too, and tried to shoot for better ideologies and better things.
Oh yeah, but
and maybe Elon has room for that. Maybe he can redeem himself and do great things. And if he does that, if he plans to grow with controversy and then change and be a good person that spreads good ideologies in the future, that would completely change my mind and completely change how I think about him. And because a lot of it is really just the way that he socially acts within his group. And then of course, there's the whole argument of the the ethical standing of billionaires, because of the whole idea that it kind of affects the economy in a way when someone hoards a lot of wealth. But he's not the only one to do that. There are
the thing is, I don't blame Elon out of all people for that.
Oh yeah, no, that's the thing. There's tons of people who are rich and hoard wealth.
Because like, look at Bill Gates and like what he's doing. You know, at least Elon, whether you like him or not, whether you agree with what he's doing with X, he's making an effort to try to make things better.
Yeah, no, that's the thing though. That's why I was saying that it's less like, it is still an argument to be used with him, but it isn't an argument that is as valid with him, because he's using his wealth to build rockets and make cars and stuff like that. So it's like he's using it in a good way.
But also, if I gave you $1 billion, would you start just handing it out to people if you worked hard for? Let me change that.
Surprisingly enough,
if you started working your ass off and you start making great decisions, opening up companies, doing this, doing that, are you going to start to just give away your money to people?
Well, surprisingly enough, I actually have a contingency plan for if I somehow won a lottery and how I want to spend my money. My goal is, first of all, I'd want to pay off debts for me and people around me, because I'd want that, as well as, of course, investing a portion of it, because $1 billion is so much, and of course, it's exactly what he's doing as well.
Why don't you just give it away? Just give it away.
Why just give it away? I'll give it away. I'll donate it all into subs on Twitch, thus saving the company and myself.
You just lose half your money. Twitch gets the other half.
Yeah, exactly. Easy. No, no, hell no. I do like the idea, though, of using it. This is a bit more selfish usage for me, but I do want to put a little bit of it into advertiser space, because I want to be able to advertise my content out, like buying ad space on places like Instagram and Twitter and stuff like that, because that's an interesting thing. But that's more the contingency for winning a few $1 million. $1 billion is such an unfathomable amount of money. Like, what is it? I think 1 million seconds is 2 hours. 1 billion seconds is 2 weeks, I think, or something like that. It's something like insane like that. Or like longer than that. It might be even longer. I don't even know.
But you're telling me if you work your ass off for that $1 billion, you're telling me you're just going to start to give most of it away? You're not going to try to go ahead and focus on making sure that your life is set where you don't have to realistically work a day in your life?
1 billion seconds is 1,600 weeks. I lied.
How many months and years is that?
How many
Pull up that video, Jamie.
years.
Pull that up, Jamie.
Pull it up, Jamie. Okay, so a billion seconds is 31 years.
So imagine working 31 years, man. 31 years of your life just to say, nah, I'm going to give away all that money. I get where you're coming from.
That's saying that you make that much money. Because the thing is, a billion, I think, what's the math? I think if you were... I saw this meme that really, really put it into perspective for me. Elon's key to success. How to hit $1 billion. Get $1 million a year. Do that every year for 300... Or no, it was like... do that every year for 1,000 years. You've achieved $1 billion.
It's not easy, bro. It's not fucking easy.
No, it's not. And that's the thing. A lot of people also argue like the morality of like, if you're going to get $1 billion, you're probably getting it due to using other people for their labor. But I don't know. That's not really my place to argue that stuff, especially since I don't have all the information on it, and I wouldn't be able to do a debate on that on the spot.
But that's another reason. But genuine question. Like I said, if you worked your ass off for that kind of money, and then we can move on from the subject. If I offer you, if you're working for it, and you know now you're set for life, are you then going to just start to give away most of that money just back to people, and you're going to go back to a normal job, or are you going to try to focus on just living your best life, making sure that your health and the people around you are taken care of, and maybe even the future generations of your family? Which option realistically are you going to pick?
To be honest, I wouldn't need $1 billion for that. Like, there's a good amount. Like, you could probably live comfortably, and you could probably have a generation or two under you live comfortably with $100 million. But, like...
Not with the way that this market's going.
Well, I mean, like, live comfortably as in stay in, like, a nice house, not like a mansion. Like, I'm not going to go and live in a mansion because I don't need to.
Yeah.
Like, if I were to live as a normal person, $100 million would get me to the end of my life and get probably my kids to the end of theirs. And also have a little bit of extra for them to start making money off of what they have. And that's why, like, the whole billion thing is, like, the whole, like, I don't need that much. Like, no one really needs that much unless you're running companies, which is where that whole argument comes into play. And that's what I understand.
I guess. But, like, that's where, like, all right, cool. Like, giving back to charities, you know, doing, I guess you could say, like, giveaways. Yeah, that helps. But, like, to me, I want to make sure that I live comfortable. And I want to make sure that the people around me live comfortable. Friends, family, significant other. I want to make sure that my future kids and their future kids and their future kids live comfortably. That's where I understand this aspect of I'm going to hold on to that money.
I think that's also one of the things that causes a lot of people to clash heads with this type of argument specifically is a different philosophy. Because there are a lot of people who it makes sense, and reasonably, because that is literal human nature, to focus on keeping yourself and the people in your inner circle safe. And I have this extremely unrealistic philosophy that I try to help as many people as I can around me. And of course, that's not going to be something I'm going to be able to achieve in my lifetime unless some miraculous thing happens.
You never know. You might be the next Mr. Beast.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's a complete, it's a philosophy difference. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of people run into that issue when they argue on Twitter in text conversations, because no one can really get a full idea out in a Twitter conversation. And so people butt heads with these ideologies because they never actually are able to explain themselves. And that's what causes all these hateful comments in every Twitter comment section.
But that's why I also I like that you have like that differentiating opinion from me, because it's nice to actually like vocalize it on, you know, a podcast, put it out there, and then people can understand both sides of it, you know?
Yeah.
Because it sounds like we have different points of views on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like we have different points of views, but not in a way that makes us completely clash. Like, I understand what you were thinking. I totally understand that. And that is a viable way to think. It is a thought process. Because that's what it is at the end of the day. It is a different thought process about a same situation. And it doesn't make us hate each other. It just means that you have different perceptions of your reality around you with it.
I hate you, Sav. I'm gonna knock you out on October the 14th. You're done.
We'll get into boxing. This is what we'll do. We'll get into boxing over Elon drama.
Yo, imagine if me and you. How much you weigh?
It's like 160. I could probably gain weight though. I need to gain muscle. So if I gain muscle, I'd probably get more than that.
I usually can end up walking around 154. So we can meet at like 158. You know, maybe 160 around that. If
literally,
you want.
I'm 158 right now.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so we can meet. We'll have a fight on. We'll be the undercard of Elon Musk versus Mark Zuckerberg.
Hell yeah.
We'll have some like really fake drama, like when we get on stage and like we get in each other's faces. I'll say, "You're a beautiful man."
We argued in a podcast one time.
We argued on a podcast. I hate you, and I'll shove you, and like you'll be like, "Hey, knock that off!" And like no one's gonna stop you from running at me and punching me, but like you're gonna be like, "Hold me back!" These guys weren't holding me back right now. I beat your ass.
I'll bring a cake that's just you, but like with the X logo on your head or something.
Oh, that'd be beautiful. If you were actually presented the offer, you would fight on Misfits, though?
If I was presented the offer, I would do it purely because it would give me a reason to work out and become a stronger person. And also a bit of a shout out in the process. I like the idea of needing to better myself, and I'm too lazy to do it right now. So being told to and having a build up where I have to fight someone would be kind of cool.
Would you would you be the nice guy, or would you actually talk shit? I think you have to talk shit.
I like the idea of being this, like I would like to allow my opponent to talk shit and have the sassiest fucking comebacks ever. Like, that is what I like to do. I can come up with a sassy, annoying, stupid comeback that would make them feel bad. But they need to say something first, because I don't want to instigate.
I don't like your hair.
God, that's too nice. I can't think of some. It would take me a minute too. I need to think about that. But yeah,
you are ugly and short.
My immediate first thought was to say "Yo, mama." That's a problem. I'm actually a broken human being. That's
honestly,
so stupid.
I think like if you say it with the right attitude, like if I say a really good thing, like if I say some like really heavy shit and you just go, "Yo, mama." Like, bro, that's gonna end. So imagine if I put all this effort into shit talking and you just say,
"Yeah,
yo, mama."
I banter with my friends so much, and it's like one of those, like, have you ever seen those banters where people talk really fucking fast?
Yeah.
And like, it's just like, I do that with my friends. And like, it's banter about the dumbest shit. Like, one of my friends lives in Virginia and I live in Maryland, and Virginia and Maryland do not like each other. And so we argue about the Maryland and Virginian flags. And we argue which one's better. And like I'll argue, and like one of my friends live in New Jersey. And I'm like he's like, your Maryland flags look like shit. I'm like, okay, but what about your crime rate? It's like, let's throw shit at each other back and forth. Like, it's like so it's like all mundane and stupid and small. Or I was like, let me send some more Canadian smog your way. Like it's just all that stuff that like you wouldn't expect to argue about.
Holy shit, man.
It's so funny.
Holy fuck. Well, Sav, we are currently at the 2 hour and 20-minute mark. I don't know if you feel that.
I can imagine.
So
stream length.
Now, before we get ready to end the podcast, I always like to ask, are there any topics that you would like to talk about, anything that you'd like to bring up, anything that you'd like to reference back to that maybe we discussed earlier in the podcast?
Oof. I feel like I talked about everything I really wanted to talk about, because we brought up the content. I really like talking about the content I make, how I got into it, why I got into it. I like that we randomly went off on the tangent about like my job and Elon. That was silly. It was all worthy conversation. I feel like all of this was very good conversation, but I don't know if there's anything I need to touch back on. I feel like it all just worked. Oh, it all flowed pretty well.
Actually, I do have a question, because I tried to follow you. What I like to do, because I don't have Twitter, or I do, but I don't use it, so I just say I don't have it. But I always like to, when the episode goes out, I like to follow everyone on Instagram. And I clicked on your Instagram link and it doesn't work.
Oh, I need to fix that then. It's okay. So it's, you know how my name's Saverino _ on like most things?
Yeah.
It's Saverino with, I think, 2 or 3 underscores now. Because all the others are taken by some random Indian dude that's never posted before.
You said 2 underscores?
I think so.
Gotcha.
It's either 2 or 3.
Gotcha.
It's like it looks similar to my YouTube profile and my Twitch profile picture, but it's like me looking off in the distance, like the same color scheme.
Gotcha, yeah. Gotcha. Well, Sav, if you don't have anything left to say, before we end it, I always like to ask, did you finish your soda?
I did. I finished it a while ago. I kept actually sipping like drips out of it for the last like 20-30 minutes. It's empty though. I wish there was more though. I'm a bit of a thirsty boy.
Fair enough. Here, would you like some more RC?
Sure, pour some in my cup real quick. Thank you.
There you go.
That's good. I got another drip out. That was nice.
But with that being said, if you guys enjoyed Sav, you can go ahead and find him on youtube.com at Saverino, Saverino _. You can find him on Twitch at twitch.tv/Saverino, Saverino _. You can find him previously on Twitter at twitter.com/not Saverino, Saverino _
That's the current account. The Saverino one got banned. My current one is not Saverino, because he'll never catch me ban-evading then. He'll never get me there.
You know Elon watches these podcasts, right? So you're fucked.
Oh, Elon, please unban me. I told a scam bot to die. I didn't tell anyone. I would never say it again. I apologize, but at the same time, it's goofy. Let me back.
DM Elon Musk this, like, clip this part and then send it to him. Just send this to him on the podcast.
All right.
And then lastly, you can find Saverino on Instagram at Saverino, Saverino with 2 underscores. Was all that correct, Sav?
Indeed, indubitably.
Perfect. Anywhere else where anyone else can catch you?
That's really all the main spots. I definitely I don't really do TikTok anymore. I feel like that's all the good spots I want people to find me at. I don't like doing too many places at once because I want everyone to find me instead of being like, where am I gonna? I don't know where he is. How do I keep up with him? So I just like Twitch, TikTok, Twitter. That's really all that matters.
Gotcha. Okay.
Or Twitch, YouTube, Twitter. My bad.
Gotcha. Well, guys, with that being said, if you like Sav, go follow him on any and all of his platforms. And of course, as you know, if you did enjoy the podcast, feel free to drop a like. Go ahead and subscribe. Maybe drop a comment about, does Saverino have a good mustache? Is it better than mine? Worse than mine? Do you think that if we had a boxing match, would he knock me out? Would I knock him out? Who would win that? Who would win? I think it would be a pretty entertaining fight. But
it would.
Guys, make sure that you go ahead and follow Sav everywhere. Make sure that you follow me everywhere. And with that being said, for now, have a fantastic rest of your day, evening, or night. Stay safe. Peace.